They all hate Elon Musk or something because
Okay.
now you're able to talk about Muslim terrorist attacks. Right? It was so weird. So Mehdi Hassan says, ask yourself why the world's richest man is a Muslim thug. I don't know, maybe he doesn't like Islamic terrorism, and a convicted criminal in the UK just days after an alleged anti-Muslim terror attack in the United Kingdom, which my jazz mentioned. No! No! You're not allowed to talk about Islamic terrorism! It might cause Islamophobia, bro! It might cause Islamophobia. Now, when we're talking about rich people being absolute retards, alright, the entire cast of The View came together to support Carmelo Anthony. Alright, in libtard world in America, these people are speedrunning being complete fucking retards.
Oh no, is this Whoopi Gold?
It is. Every time she opens her mouth, you know you're about to hear the dumbest fucking thing on the planet.
No. Is this what I think it's gonna be?
Oh, yeah.
This story has been, we've been following this, and so now there's new footage that has been released of the moments after high schooler Carmelo Anthony fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf.
Murdered.
He was sentenced to 35 years in prison, which he's appealing. Some
Not enough. Should have executed him.
people believe that race was a factor in the trial because
He literally murdered. He stabbed him in the heart, man. And he admitted he did it. And there's so many witnesses. Like, everyone that does this is like, okay, so Whoopi Goldberg just wants it to be legal to kill white people. You know, I'm really tired of making believe that that's not the case.
there were no black jurors.
There were no black jurors
No, Snow lied.
because the black jurors said that race would be a factor and they wouldn't want to put a brother in. I'm not even kidding. They literally said that.
One prospective juror who prosecutors identified as African American said he would have a hard time putting a brother in jail.
They were
Yeah,
struck.
so he's not a biased guy, so they got rid of him. Based. Actually, tribalism is not acceptable in American law.
For
Why?
that. And
Why?
some folks think, no, he got a
See, she
She doesn't even explain why there were no black jurors. Just like, oh, racism, oh.
never explained the reason why. You're not including that information because you want to poison the well and make
Yeah.
people think that the jury was racist.
No, it's actually because she wants it to be legal to kill white people. And I'm really tired of making believe that it's anything other than that.
But is this a jury of his peers?
I don't think so. This has been an issue for such a long time in the judicial system where generally a juror of color for a race neutral.
Generally, look at what she's saying. She's saying and implying that they struck them because they were black for a race-neutral reason.
Are you
which is
busy?
actually the
There's been a
opposite.
development
They
with the
struck
attempted
them
buyout,
because
and we
they
may
were
need your
being
help.
race-biased.
Please swing by my office as soon as you
Strike
can.
someone because they're black.
That's not what happened, and they know that.
I also think we have to look at self-defense here because there seems to be two systems of justice at play in this country.
Yeah.
And there have been for a very long time.
It's when a white person does this, everybody agrees that it was bad, and the white person goes to jail. And when a black person does this, you have a bunch of black people that go out and say that the jury was racist and it was rigged, and come up with infinitely many racial justifications for why stabbing somebody in the chest with a knife is okay.
I was part of the system, so I understand that, and I believe that to
That's
be
the
true.
problem.
In this case, this young man, you heard him say he put his hands on me, and I
Right.
told him not to.
Well, I believe he's telling the truth. You believe that the person that stabbed somebody in the chest is telling the truth. What about all the other witnesses?
More than 10 of these students and teammates testified that Austin Metcalf repeatedly asked Anthony to leave. Several recalled Anthony responding, "Touch me and find out." Metcalf tried to avoid a fight, telling Anthony, quote, "Dude, I'm not gonna fight you at a track meet." Anthony pulled out a 5-inch folding knife from his backpack and stabbed Metcalf in the chest.
And the other kid was
pretty
also
bad.
taller than he is. He was the only black kid under the tent. The victim here had his twin brother with him, who was also a very large person.
So you're trying to imply that the brother has some sort of implicit guilt of bullying Carmelo Anthony? Is this it?
If you don't fear for your life, if you weigh 130 pounds, I weigh 130 pounds. Facing somebody that's 200 pounds,
think she probably
I would
weighs
be
more than
terrified.
What's facing, bro? He stabbed him in the heart. Are we being serious? These people, they want it to be legal to murder white people, actually.
Of that. I don't understand why self-defense was
Wasn't,
rejected
right.
by this jury.
Because there were 20 witnesses that all said that it wasn't, and he was the aggressor because he was in a place he shouldn't have been. And he said, "Touch me, see what happens," and then he stabbed somebody in the heart with a knife. So this is what people like her do. They just simply misrepresent the situation and lie to their viewers.
Yeah.
She's omitting massive, huge...
Again, the truth doesn't matter to these people. That's why I wanted to show this to you. The reality is irrelevant. They want you to be able to kill white people legally. So they're gonna do this whole thing, this gigantic scam, where they try their absolute best. They try their absolute best to essentially make believe, oh no, he was just a baby in front of someone so big and strong.
Facts that a jury convicted this person of.
His father went on a podcast and listened to it for yourself, but he called Carmelo Anthony a racial slur. And he also said that the reason that black people weren't on the jury is because black people...
Oh no, a guy whose son was murdered by a barbarian is sad? Like, again, are we serious?
Unable to hold bias from the trial because...
That's true. And the person that was black admitted that themselves. But you're omitting that information, and you're making it sound like the dad was a racist for no reason.
And also that was only after Carmelo's family went on television, implying the whole trial was a setup.
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was...
Carmelo Anthony's father. Your son stabbed somebody in the chest, but the real problem was white people.
You know, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side.
What?
I feel like it was just a setup.
From day one,
It was a setup. It was a setup. Stabbed him in the heart, tricking you into thinking that that's a bad thing.
It was never about race. And don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both.
So that is the thing. That's the thinking of the victim's father.
That's right.
Well,
so the implication is that the victim now it's like more acceptable. What they're doing whenever they're saying this is they're literally trying to inspire racial violence. They're lying and omitting facts that would completely change people's perspective if they were shown, but they're not showing those facts. They're not telling those things. And the reason why is because they want to foment and promote more racial hatred, more racial bias, more racism.
I gotta go to player, don't I?
Division.
To see,
That's right. And the reality is, everyone knows this. Everyone knows that their words are just lies. Every single human being
Level 43,
that's realistic does not fall for the slop. So
God damn, I'm the lowest level in here, too.
To the actual natural endpoint. U.S. taxpayer money funneling through USAID and NIH funded gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That research likely caused COVID, the pandemic that killed millions and cost trillions. Dr. Fauci signed off on it and lied to Congress about it. So, by this logic, that means cutting off USAID stopped and saved billions, right? Without USAID, maybe we wouldn't have COVID. Elon Musk might have stopped another COVID from happening, right? Riddle me this, Rogan. Closing USAID can cause so many children in Africa. Why did the African Union stop Minutemen in D.C. celebrate USAID shutdowns? I guess she just loves dead babies. USAID funded Osama bin Laden. USAID on Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and Taliban. So did USAID supporters cause 4.7 million deaths in the global war on terror while murdering 35,000 people in terrorist attacks after causing 9/11? Was it USAID that did that? Did you stop 9/11 and stop Middle East conflicts? Question mark? This is the logic of the left at its natural endpoint. It's absolutely contorted and retarded. They don't care about logic. They don't care about reality. They care about results. They want power. So the easiest way to get power: Trump Hitler and say that Elon Musk killed 4.5 million children in Africa. Reality doesn't matter to these people. They are monsters, demons. Demons that master human speech that they utilize only to manipulate you. Why do demons call for their mother when they don't have any? It's a magical phrase. Yes, humans have mercy on them and stop them from killing them. So the left, the people that care about money so much, they care about the taxpayers' dollars so much, they are now vandalizing the fucking pool that was renovated by Donald Trump because they hate Trump. So they're literally vandalizing the pool, which we're using tax dollars. 6 people were arrested, 7 people have been cited. The damage they did to our country is now people reflecting 350-foot gash made by a very sharp knife or razors and numerous lashes over a very long... They're just fucking terrorists. They're a giant group of terrorists using words and revolution to destroy America. If they can have power, it must be destroyed.
Doesn't look like anyone's moving. What's that smell?
This officer is unknowingly reacting to the decomposition odor coming from Craig Thetford's hidden body. Police have been searching for him for months with no success. And even now, with the foul odor in the air, they still have no idea he's buried only feet away.
The dirt? Where's that blood?
This is the only way I've been able to have any communication with him. And I don't even know if it's him.
I wouldn't even know where to start looking.
There's some weird shit going on.
Whoever killed Craig covered their tracks meticulously, using chemicals to mask the odor, disabling security cameras, and hiding in plain sight. And while detectives spend months trying to figure out where Craig went, the suspected killer quietly continues spending Craig's money, allegedly buying houses, homes, and crafting a plan to ensure they're never found.
Holy smoke.
Well, I want to say something else, but I don't.
They got sensors.
You might start looking in the Caribbean.
It's a late May evening in Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Tucked among wooded acreage and mountain terrain sits a 2,000 square foot property owned by 60-year-old Craig Thetford. He lives inside this large 3-story house
God
with
damn
his
it!
wife Dina. The Thetfords enjoy a comfortable lifestyle thanks to Craig's roofing business. They own multiple residential properties and frequently take luxury vacations. But a few months ago, something dark took place inside the Thetford household, and it went unnoticed for weeks, until May 2025, when the Otero County Sheriff's Office receives a disturbing call.
Communications on a recorded line. How can I help you?
Could I talk to you have a wellness check done on an individual?
That would be me. What's going on?
His name is Craig Thetford. Everybody in Texas has been trying to get a hold of Craig for nearly 2 months. We can't get a hold of his wife. We're really concerned about it because this is not like him. He always answers his phone calls back. Even his family here hasn't been able to get a hold of him. Nobody can get a hold of him.
On the line is Larry Scott, requesting a welfare check on his friend. But something about this call is different. As Larry explains, nobody has seen Craig or his wife for months. A detail that's highly unusual since most missing person reports come within days. Following this, officers are dispatched to the address to conduct a welfare check on the Thetford couple. Once they pull up to the long driveway and step out into the mountain air, they can sense something is off about this place.
Retreat! Coming for you! Look alive!
Sheriff's office.
You do not mess with me!
Can you see anything through the windows?
As officers walk around the residence, they notice the sheer size of the property, with multiple carports and outbuildings. Lights are on throughout the home itself, but strangely, no one answers the door. Looking through the windows, one officer notices several boxes stacked, suggesting that the couple might be in the process of moving or had already left. As another officer circles towards the carport, he hesitates. There's something odd about the air around him.
We got a pretty decent security camera in the back. Doesn't look like anyone's been here.
Coming from the carport, a faint, strange odor drifts through the space. But up in the mountains, with wildlife and wooded terrain, unusual smells aren't uncommon. So the officer brushes it off and moves on. With the home appearing vacant and no immediate signs of foul play, cops call it off and leave with the impression that the Thetford couple likely moved out and simply forgot to inform their friend Larry. Unknowingly, officers are walking away from the first signs that something far more sinister is at play.
This is it!
The next day, things begin to shift into something more serious as police receive a second call about Craig. However, this one carries more concerning details than the last.
Telecommunications on a recorded line. How can I help you?
Okay, this is gonna seem really, really strange. About 4 months ago, my grandpa had an office like facing with the woman, and he's a volunteer firefighter up there. He loves to do it. He talks to me all the time. And so I'd like to place a wellness check, but the only person that said she talked to him and told him is his wife, and apparently now they're getting a divorce. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff, so I don't believe it. It's not my grandpa. It's just really strange.
What's his name?
Craig Thetford.
What's your name?
My name is Cody. I'm his friend. His wife is supposed to be in Texas getting a divorce.
With yet another welfare check request from Craig's grandson Cody, a clearer timeline begins to form. It now sounds like Craig hasn't been missing for 2 months as previously believed by his friend. Instead, he hasn't been seen for over 4 months, which is even more alarming. Additionally, the reason no formal missing person report was filed starts to make sense, as Cody goes on to explain that his grandfather's wife, Dina Thetford, has been telling everyone that Craig is in Mexico with another woman after filing for divorce. A story that doesn't sit right with Craig's grandson. Following this second call, Otero County Sheriff's deputies are dispatched back to Craig's house. This time, instead of simply knocking and leaving, they widen the scope. If Craig and his wife aren't inside the house, maybe someone nearby has seen or heard something. So deputies begin canvassing the surrounding properties, a decision that will quietly kickstart an investigation into what may become one of the most elaborate and twisted homicide cover-ups they've ever handled.
Deputy Ventura with the Sheriff's Office. By chance, have you seen your neighbors over?
No, sir, I had.
Okay.
Since January. And we were real good friends and everything.
Okay.
We were both on the James Canyon Fire Department. And then come January, there's just no contact.
No contact at all.
I got him. I was on the James Canyon Fire Department there for about 5.5 years. He moved up here. I talked him into it. Okay. And we were real good friends.
Yeah.
Fall back! Over here. We got him on the fire department. Josh,
Wheel that bastard in! You know what the address is over there?
It's that A-frame right there.
This one right here?
Yeah, this one right here.
Yes, ma'am. How are you? I'm Deputy Ventura with the Otero County Sheriff's Office. We were looking for Craig Thetford.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Craig.
Okay.
We're buying the house from him. He was in Breckenridge taking care of his mom.
Okay.
His wife Dina is my friend.
Have you talked to Dina lately? Yeah. And have you asked her anything about like, Craig, how he's doing or anything? She's not. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are they like not together right
They're
now?
like
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Sure that's what's happening.
And when was the last time you saw Dina here in the area? About 3 weeks.
As far as Heidi knows, Craig and Dina are in the middle of separating, with Craig supposedly staying at his mother's house in Texas. That explanation doesn't match what Dina told Craig's grandson Cody, who was under the impression that his grandfather went to Mexico after filing for divorce. To investigate further, the deputy asks Heidi for Dina's phone number and tries calling her. But worryingly, it goes straight to voicemail. With no immediate leads, officers return to the station. Before Deputy Pinter can relay his findings to detectives, his phone starts ringing. Interestingly, the caller is one of the Thetfords.
Hello?
Hi, I missed a phone call.
Yes, ma'am. This is Deputy Ventura calling from the Otero County Sheriff's Office. I was calling in reference to your husband, Craig. It seems that he hasn't been in contact with a lot of his family and some of his friends.
Yeah, we have been separated, and I recently filed for divorce. He's involved with someone else, and currently he's in Mexico.
And when's the last time you saw him or spoke to him?
Before he left.
Would you have an estimate, like, was it like 1 week, 2 weeks?
First of the month?
First of the month. And you saw him in person, correct?
Yes, yes, he was packing, yes.
Where was this at? Was this at your residence?
Yes. He has moved out.
And where are you currently? Yeah, well, I guess let me ask you, are you going to permanently be staying at Seymour, Texas? No? Okay.
I'll see what happens in the divorce. I'm going to ask for the property.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think he's missing.
On the line is Dina Thetford, clarifying that her husband is actually in Mexico with another woman. The same story she told Craig's grandson, but different from what her neighbor reported. Naturally, this drastically complicates the investigation, as locating a missing person in another country is exponentially more difficult. But during the phone call, Dina also goes on to explain that she suspected Craig of cheating on her for nearly a year before confirming the affair a couple of months earlier. Now she's staying with her mother in Texas, but plans to return to New Mexico and fight Craig in court to keep the property for herself. The deputy confirms Dina's current phone number before ending the call. Aside from the inconsistent story about Craig's whereabouts, police have no reason to believe Dina is hiding anything. But that is about to change.
You know, I tried to warn Craig. If I can kill Craig and get away with it, I'd do it.
My mom is crazy. Like, she's tried to kill me before.
In the days that follow, Craig Thetford is officially entered into the FBI database as a missing person, and the case is assigned to Detective Bobby Curtis with the district's major crimes unit. As Curtis begins digging into the couple's background, one detail immediately stands out. Craig is Dina's fourth husband. She had already been married 3 times before, and those relationships seemingly ended under troubling circumstances. So Curtis decides to call the people who might know Dina best, her ex-husbands. And what she's about to hear may not just explain where Craig is, but also what really happened to him.
I got a voicemail from you about an hour ago, I guess.
I was calling to see if you had a minute to talk to me about Dina.
I was married to her 30 years ago. I called her Dina.
Now, after looking at France going through that absolute nightmare with all those stabbings at the music festival, England with the grooming gang scandal getting covered up, Montreal, which just had a mass shooting situation taking place, we got to talk about the greatest country on the planet, the United States of America. So Europeans are coming to America en masse for the World Cup because everyone cares about goyball, I guess. Goyball is happening, everyone get involved. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding. You know what I mean? And all the Europeans come to America after decades of propaganda teaching them that America's crazy and everyone has guns and everyone's racist. They come to America and they're like, oh my God, this is the best country. The best country on the planet. Right, so we gotta do something wholesome every once in a while. Before getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there. If I'm gonna play games as a time sponge, I might as well make some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games, complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call to Dragons on free cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus today. Now, back to the chaos. Every individual sign-up literally supports the channel, so if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated.
Super welcomed, and we have nothing but amazing things to say about Houston hospitality.
You can get every single landscape, every single climate.
Yeah, we're actually the best country on the planet, and these Eurotards are used to living under globalist communist rule.
You can get everything in the US.
We are all enjoying like the fact that this country is so great to visit. People are amazing, so welcoming.
That's right.
The culture is amazing.
After all generations of propaganda to teach you that those Americans with their savage ways, and it's just the best country on the planet, actually.
You don't know how good you have it. These Europeans who are visiting do. They're experiencing it for the first time, not...
Yup. generations of commie slopaganda destroyed by 1 minute of capitalism. Yeah.
Watching
1 minute.
someone else's interpretation of the United States for the first time. How often do you hear Americans say, you know, when I travel, I just realize how much better everything is. They'll say the food and stuff, which is it's just complete BS. The truth is you have more choice in the United States than anywhere else in the world.
Real.
The primary difference you will see is entitlement.
If that car was a woman, I'd diss her.
And also Africans. A lot more Africans in other countries.
From Americans and gratitude from these Europeans. Europeans now are actually, for the first time, experiencing America, the United States. Not New York City, not Los Angeles.
That's
the
right.
rest
Actual America. Not literally epicenters of gay like New York and LA.
America, and they are blown away. But first, let's compare ungrateful, entitled Americans, what they complain about as it relates to the United States. And keep in mind that everything you are about to hear is objectively incorrect.
America sucks ass, dude. I was in Thailand for 1 month, and then I was in Europe for 1 month.
Alone?
Coming back to America, if you're not in a major city, there is zero sense of community whatsoever.
I'm scrolling on social media and somebody said, America is for making money and the rest of the world is for living, bro.
Hit the bong again.
Let that sink in.
America is not what it once was. I've got some bad news for people who
I
don't.
love Europeans being like, I saw a tweet. So I made my entire life decision about America.
Travel internationally, the world hates us. Okay?
Oh, no.
We don't have the big dogs, we don't have the clout that we once had. We aren't even like
Yeah, I actually don't care. I don't care, honestly, about the rest of the world nearly as much as a lot of people think I should.
May head up to Beverly Hills. That's where I'm gonna find them.
I want our country to be
Whoa.
awesome. Actually, I actually don't really care if Europeans that are sacrificing their entire culture and society to an infinite hedonism and migration. I actually don't care about your opinion at all. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Statistically on top of anything.
We are statistically on top of everything.
Don't even get me like started on the taxes, bro. I'm getting taxed on things that I already paid taxes for to buy with money that I
Go back to Europe, where taxes are friendlier.
Bro, taxes in Europe are a million times more.
This shit is fucking ridiculous.
You don't get
I live
taxed
and
as a
work in
tourist.
Spain, making roughly 1,000 euros a month, which in America is nothing, but in Spain is more than enough to live. I only work 16 hours a week, and I'm able to afford a super nice apartment in the city
Where you work at the mini putt course where they can put it through.
Yo, I work 16 hours a week and I have like nothing in my bank account and I'm miserable and alone and I have no children and I'm sad. But hey, I have an apartment in Madrid.
People don't want to live in America. People aren't.
More people objectively are trying to get into
Literally everyone is trying to come to America.
America than any country.
A lot of the kids said their parents wouldn't let them go to America because they were afraid they were going to get popped by the police.
I am like so out of here as soon as I have the opportunity.
Goodbye.
Like literally fuck this place, bro.
The American mind cannot fathom. It's just crazy to me because, like, you've been told growing up your whole life that America is the best country in the world.
Literally, you have a nose ring.
Thanks for that,
Literally have a septic. Like, bro, shit goes off. I am sensing people having fun. Yeah, all right, dude.
That's just so far from the truth.
Yeah, so objectively, more people want to get into the United States than any country on Earth, and it's been that way for a very long time. Objectively, economically, we're talking about GDP, especially, by the way, when you account for native-born American citizens and sort of, you have to kind of parse out the massive wave of illegal immigration. Americans do better, they fare better, they're more educated. Economically, they do better, they have a higher standard of living, better quality of life. And by the way, if you take people from these European nations where they may, for example, a Scandinavian country like Denmark or Sweden, they have a higher quality of life. You take those people, transplant them to the United States, and it doubles immediately. It's far more comparable, or would be a more valid comparison to, let's say, Sweden, Norway, and Rhode Island, as far as size, population, and homogenous demographics.
They don't like to hear about any of these things. Remember, reality doesn't matter to these people until all of a sudden it slaps them across the face. It's like the woman that's pro-trans rights, and then they go into the bathroom and then they see the toilet seats up, and they're like, ah.
Everything that they say when they complain about the United States is objectively incorrect. Now,
reality is irrelevant to these people. It's all about the narrative. That's right. Reality doesn't matter.
for the Europeans who are blown away, and what not just their own experiences, it's heartwarming, objectively, what they appreciate about the United States is verifiable.
Nothing comes close
Dude, this guy.
to the USA.
Alright, a brand new experience for us.
Yeah, bro.
Here. We're in a town called Taunton. This is a hospital. And I thought I would just make this little video to share the experience because it was utterly phenomenal.
Meeting Custodians, how nice everyone has been, how welcoming everybody is.
Yep.
How hospitable.
No one in the world. I've been to a lot of different countries. no one's as nice. Literally, no one is as nice and welcome as like conservative Americans. Like, I'm not even kidding. Nicest people I've ever met, just randomly in public. The people in like Arizona and Utah. You know, you just walk around and like everyone is super nice. They want to help. It's crazy. It's honestly insane. You go to France, you get stabbed by some needle from some fucking retard who shouldn't even be in the country.
Or you look like a member of the SS.
We just felt super welcomed, and we had nothing but amazing things to say about Houston hospitality.
You can get every single landscape, every single climate, you can get everything in the US.
May I have a burger? The burger is strawberry shake or what, mate? And animal french fries.
I'm in America right now and I could cry because I've just found the thing that I miss the most when I go back home to the UK. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! I found a Sonic! I can confirm I have acquired crushed ice.
A lot of places in Europe don't give you ice because it's too costly.
Yeah, you can't sell ice in Europe anymore. Yeah, it'll all get stolen actually. Turns out.
The trucks, everything in the US simply beats anything I've ever experienced anywhere in the world.
Damn, bro.
Watch this.
They're not Muslim. Oh, he's like my 4-year-old son.
They're not wearing hijab. I can cry. They're not even wearing hijab.
Yeah, just like him.
Delicious.
And the burger? Alright.
That is pretty lovely. No one doing drugs. No one stealing. No one's breaking into my truck.
Crazy, huh?
He rented a truck. Nice.
There are no words to describe how lucky you guys are to live there. Americans are so lucky to
That's
live
right. Best
in
country
such
on the
an
planet.
amazing country.
And we actually, I know this is going to be crazy, we actually wanted to stay the greatest country on the planet. A country based on biblical values. A country that's actually a high-tech society of people that actually are not barbarians. I know, it's a crazy thing to think about, but we actually like this, and we wanted to stay that way.
I wish I was there, guys, honestly.
Yeah, this is something that I can tell you all of my Canadian family, and even myself, because I was raised in Canada from about 3 to 18. When I moved stateside, the first time I had to go to a hospital, it was like a hotel. All of my Canadian relatives will tell you the same, and Canadian friends, they will all tell you the same thing. Little things you take for granted, where people will say, you know, in America, our food is so loaded with preservatives and pesticides. When I go to Europe, first off, one of the top pizza places, like in all of Italy, they get their dough, I believe, exclusively from Manitoba and North Dakota. I was just reading about it. Like, they get a lot of their raw materials in the United States. You can grow tomatoes. You can grow your own fruit, your own produce. You do live in a country, though, where whether you're in New York City, California, Oklahoma City, take your pick, you can go into a grocery store anywhere in this country and get any kind of produce you want in any season. That's unheard of. If you look in a lot of these European countries, their fridges are the size of like your dorm mini fridge. They just have to make multiple trips. So to America, it's great if you can eat seasonally, if you can eat locally. It's like a novelty. It's a requirement. In most of Europe, certainly rural Europe, they don't have the choices. That's why their mind is blown. Little things that you take for granted. Say the children. Hi, Gerald. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. All the little things we take for granted. Like, I don't know, not having Pakistani rape gangs, for example. It's actually pretty fucking awesome. Just insane to think about.
People go, oh, that's because it's cold. No. Our summers get into the 90s and humid and muggy. You better be wealthy enough to get a window unit and pay 15% tax on it.
They didn't have that in Cambodia when I went, and I don't know if you know anything about Cambodia. It's a little hot. It's hotter than Canada. Yeah. In fact, it's hotter than Texas in most parts of it. We literally had to go to a restaurant and buy something so that we could sit in air conditioning for an hour a day.
When I was in Ireland, there's a whole middle part of the day. You just can't go to a restaurant. They're just off.
Done. What?
They're gone.
What are they doing?
They close. They open for breakfast late, much later than most Americans eat breakfast. Not everywhere, but this was Cork and Dublin. I was surprised as to how sleepy it was, as to how unproductive it was. And then you went out of the city a little bit, and it would be closer to a third world country as far as the homes, the size, the amenities, than what you know here in the United States. I'm not saying
everything we take for granted, dude. Just the economy. The economy there in Europe is an absolute shit show right now. They don't drill for oil. They shut down their nuclear plants. We don't want to invest in AI because AI. Some woke person on the internet was very expensive. And while doing that, they have infinite free healthcare for all the retards, right? Which means that the retards are going to come, obviously. Dude, it's crazy. And also, the United States is big. It's beautiful. It's naturally beautiful. You go to the national parks. You go to Zion National Park. Wow, that's pretty.
I don't understand why it switched views on me.
Canyon. There's nothing like it. It's incredible. It's grand. It's big. You could get everything you want here. You could literally follow your dream. I know it sounds cliche and cringe, but this is the country we're trying to conserve. And Europeans who are coming from in-shitified Europe, whatever they fucking did to that. And then they're like, holy shit, we could have been this if we weren't gay retards.
Saying that Ireland is a third world country, but what I'm saying is you don't know how good you have it. These Europeans who are visiting do. They're experiencing it for the first time, not watching someone else's interpretation of the United States for the first time. And it's not New York City and it's not Los Angeles. There's a very, very big country. This is actually, it's such kind of a phenomenon right now that Jake Tapper even interviewed this German soccer player about specifically this in CNN.
What do you make of all the viral content coming out of this tournament and all the love for the European tourists from the American people as you show us our country with fresh eyes?
Yeah, I know Freddie. He's a nice guy. He's from like close to me, so I've been talking to him. He's loving it. He's more touring the South. I did Chicago, and I think it's more like because in Europe we have a lot of rather negative news about the Americans in the last 5 years. Let's say that. And I think we're all enjoying like the fact that this country is so great to visit. People are amazing, so welcoming. The culture is amazing. It's like Europeans are getting a new view of America right now. I think also through our content, and that's cool. I think.
Yeah, I wonder why they had a negative perception. Not only because of
the media fucking hates us too, because again, we are a successful capitalist society. Way too socialist, by the way. I pay way too much taxes, but we are all the things that the media are trying to convince you that actually you should not like. They're telling you that you should not actually love your culture and root it in biblical principles. You should not like capitalism. You should want to flood your country with infinite migrants. You should be woke. You should protect the environment and the cause of your fucking children getting raped by Muslims. So much endless propaganda trying to teach people that America bad. Oh, America's so racist they elected Trump. Oh, Trump! A 90s Democrat, Trump! Just wait until people come. So that's why they're all so mindful. Because actually, we are the Christians. They were lied to their entire lives.
But because of our far left media here in the United States, like Jake Tapper,
He seems to smile like, oh, you're I'm glad I made it over there.
Did you read my book where I talk about Biden's cognitive decline that I attack everyone for pointing out?
Yeah, 2 years later.
So yeah, once you go, oh wow, very, very different. And there's it's pretty cool. This guy he's German, and the online screen name is just Freddy. And at first when I read it, I thought it was like German Freddy. When it was German. Oh, yeah, maybe we should go to my part, or I will smack you with my paws and you'll rest.
Yeah, that's why my name is Cool.
That's right, Cool. As opposed to Spanish, very cool. I will take you back to my boiler room, and then I will feed you with my paws. I will feed you. That's right. Only with my paws.
I love that everyone just does it now. It's so awesome. Oh. Civilization known to man, completely fucking destroyed by woke retards. It's miserable. Sad. Everyone knows it. And I think nothing exhibits a better example of the idea that like the leftist media will break you completely and utterly destroy you. Alright? Your eyes never saw the reality, so they will shape your mind to believe what they want you to believe. Alright, just understand that is exactly what these people are doing. Manipulating you into believing a thing, and then you open your eyes, and your world breaks. Your entire world gets destroyed. That happened to Europeans coming to America. That also happened to this guy. This is a libtard who talked about his experience after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He's an excellent Alright, understand, I think this is one of the greatest videos I've ever seen, by the way.
I'm actually glad that Charlie Kirk was murdered, but probably not for the reason you think. I was at work when I first found out. A fellow employee had wandered up to me, cell phone in hand, and asked, "Did you hear that Charlie Kirk just got assassinated?" And I, without even a moment's hesitation, responded, "Good! Fuck that Nazi white supremacist piece of shit!" I had never before witnessed such a perfectly blended expression of disgust, disappointment, sadness, and surprise.
The normal reaction, by the way, to every single one of these leftoid fucks.
All through the window of another man's eyes, or experienced a silence so uncomfortable as the one that followed. And although that look on his face now haunts my memory, it only made me distrustful and upset. But little did I know that the sentence which followed would end up becoming the most profoundly psychologically impactful question that I've ever been.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to hear a psychologically impactful question? It changed his life. This one question.
Have you ever actually watched any of his debates? I decided to end the conversation immediately. It's not clearly I lost cause.
That's right. Never ever engage in discussion with the other side. They must all automatically be evil.
Those intellectually dishonest Kool-Aid drinking types who refuses to engage in good faith with any perspective which contradicts their outstandingly narrow and propagandized worldview. And by this man, I mean Me. Because I hadn't actually watched any of his debates.
That's right, obviously.
I was basing literally every single thing I believe about a human being with thousands of hours worth of publicly available recordings of himself openly expressing his opinions on a small handful of out-of-context clips that had been curated for me by algorithms and media organizations being funded by the political opposition.
That's right, and that's literally the entire liberal world. All right? Just do not believe your eyes. Do not believe reality. Believe what I want you to believe. This has literally, like a cancer, infected all of leftism.
I foamed at the mouth, right along with the rest of those
123.45
dogs, gleefully mocking those who had been saddened by his death and downplaying the atrocity of it all by suggesting that political violence is just an unfortunate yet necessary step toward our coveted socialist revolution. That is, until I began to notice a common thread.
Zero Zodra for quick results with stream views, chat spam, and poll votes. Use ownkick.com.
Huh. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates? I didn't think much of it at first. Of course right-wingers are all regurgitating the exact same talking point. They're in a cult. They're brainwashed. It was an ordinary and boring morning on the day I found out that I am a monster. In that moment where my curiosity got the best of me and I decided to click on some random YouTube thumbnail of Charlie Kirk with his goofy and gummy smile in an attempt to reaffirm my preconceived biases. And it was an unusually stressful afternoon on that very same day when I spoke to my father for the first time in years, despite the fact that he had always loved and supported me unconditionally. And it was a never-ending sleepless night, coming to terms with the fact that literally every single thing I thought I hated about the right, bigotry, stupidity, violence, vitriol, and narrow-mindedness was actually just an outward projection of hatred toward my own self. Charlie Kirk is my hero. He opened my eyes to the cruel and manipulative nature of our political media, brought my family back together, and taught me how to live with me. And to anyone who takes issue or offense with that, I'm going to do exactly what he would have done. I challenge you to answer a simple, honest, and straightforward question. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates?
Charlie Kirk, doing the Lord's work beyond the grave, saving libtards that would be gleeful if you were killed. People that you would think are so fucking far gone that there's no way they would be saved. Charlie Kirk saved them from beyond the grave. And all they had to do was actually look at reality with their own eyes instead of just live in their endless fucking retarded stupor of delusion. Very fucking brave of this guy, by the way, to come out with this video, I have to say. But nothing radicalizes a human being more than reality. When you watch Charlie Kirk, you realize he wasn't a monster. When you go to America, you realize it's actually just the greatest country on earth. You go to a communist utopia like Cuba, you realize it's an absolute shithole. You see a trans person in a woman's bathroom, and all of a sudden you're not feeling super comfortable. He just wants to watch you pee, okay? 250,000 British girls got raped by Pakistani Muslim rape gangs, and all of a sudden diversity is not your greatest strength. Nothing radicalizes you.
Oh! That was bullcrap! Did you see him teleport right in front of me?
Hey, it's Paige Harris. I work with Lester Crest. I basically run things over there while he takes credit. Anyway, I've got a new sideline you might be interested in. High-end scores, taken elegantly, using the latest tech. There's a terabyte truck on Warstock. I can turn into our nerve center. Get one?
Shut up!
I was with Omar.
And is Omar the one that was shooting?
I don't know.
What is he?
Hispanic. He has a beard, he's light skinned, he's Mexican.
What was he wearing last night? Color shirt.
I don't know the shirt, but he's wearing a hat.
All units be advised, we received reports of a shooting at Hard Rock Casino in Lake Tahoe. One is reported deceased, and the shooter is armed inside the building.
223.
Where's he at? Is that Valley? Get on your knees! Get on your knees!
County, all units. We just received an update. You got some information that the suspect possibly left in a white Toyota 4Runner with a Hispanic female adult about Senegal.
Did you know that guy? I did it all. I just remember we were talking for like a while, you know, and then that's it.
At 2 a.m. on March 25th, 2023, Edgar Delgado enters Hard Rock Casino and meets 32-year-old Omar Garcia, where they spend the next 6 hours together drinking and having a good time. But by 8 a.m., something begins to anger Edgar. The tension rises, an argument bursts out, and Edgar grabs Garcia. Worst of all, he pulls out a pistol and points it directly at Garcia's head multiple times. But Garcia resists, knowing his life could end at any time, and physical altercations ensue. Then, for one last time, Edgar grabs Garcia by the neck and whispers something in his ear, to the extent that Garcia stops resisting. Desperately, Garcia tries to disengage, knowing that this fight is not worth his life. But Edgar sees his chance and pulls out his gun before Garcia even has a moment to react. And seconds later,
I'm gonna go after the treasure.
a single gunshot.
I don't think I've ever gone after a treasure.
Casino. Garcia had little to no chance of survival. He was shot directly in the temple.
I'm gonna go after the treasure on a stolen motorcycle. But first,
soon after, panic erupted in the hotel. Employees
find something
and
different to
residents
listen
scrambled
to.
to get a hold of authorities as dozens of non
The Democrat Party is being totally taken over by a bunch of fucking radical communists and socialists. They are. And you have all these people. This is their big, actually this is from Zoran. That's a different one. I was looking at another one. This is, no, where did it go? Well, one of these. And so you're having the Democrat Party be totally taken over by socialism and by race communism and other bullshit like this. I think it's actually quite funny because I've told people this is what was going to happen. I have. I've said this multiple times over and over and over. Leftist now, right? And so this is the new party of the left. And this is the reason why I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it because this is a very easy group to other. This is an easy group to demonize, and it's an easy group to take action against, right? And I think also they don't really appeal to the average, like they appeal to Democrats. They're gonna win Democrat primaries. And it's because Democrats are, there is no cohesive ideology that Democrats exist in. That there isn't. And so also
I didn't mean that. I hate the poor little bunny.
Free Palestine, let Gaza live. Congressman Dan Goldman. It's not Dan Goldstein. Is he a Jew? Like, is this the? I'm curious about like what is the? Is Goldman a Jewish name? Like I don't mean to be improper about this. I'm not trying to be racist. I literally am asking this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is another let Gaza live, blood on your hands. Okay, right. So this is another Jew that's having Free Palestine and Roman salutes shown right here. Okay. These Free Palestine people are pissing me off. Well, that's because I mean none of these people should be in the country, by the way. Like they should not be in the country. We've allowed them into the country.
My God.
And I think that the Democrats deserve this. They do. They deserve this because they have played footsie with these freaks for 15 years. Ever since Occupy Wall Street, they have completely shifted away from, class warfare and from class issues to identity issues. And this is what the Democrats deserve. Because you brought these people into the country, you used all of these race politics issues, you pushed this over and over and over, and now, finally, Dr. Frankenstein's monster is attacking you. That's it. And they have created a Frankenstein's monster out of disaffected college kids, terrorist supporters, illegal aliens, basically non-Westerners who hate the West. Political Islam, and you've taken all of these, and communism, obviously, right, and socialism and Marxism and all this. You've taken all of these pieces and you've put them together into one conglomerate. And the reality
two
is
more.
that conglomerate
There's rabbits all over the place here.
Stronger
Oh, I hate this car. I hate this car. It no longer has doors or a fender.
They don't. There's nothing that the Democrat Party really stands for.
If this is
the
a road
Democrat
I would
Party
love to
stands
steal a new
for
car.
is whatever Trump isn't, right? So like, Trump wants to clean the pool. The Democrat Party are for algae, okay? Like that is the state of the Democratic Party. For all of their faults and all of the things that I disagree with them on, I will say that the DSA has a cohesive vision. They have a cohesive vision that I completely disagree with, and I want to deport almost every single one of them out of the country. But I respect the fact that they have an idea. They have an idea, a vision, a plan. And that is something that more than the Democrats can say. The Democrats can't say they have a plan. They don't have a vision. Their only vision is just being antithetical to Trump. And that's not a very good way to do it. Stand for spending other people's money.
I need to borrow your car.
Yeah, and I think that's respectable, right? It is. And at least they're outspoken, and that's it. Are you ready for Starbucks tomorrow? I was actually worried it was going to be today because it was in Japan. I was worried about the date difference, right? But I checked earlier this morning. Fetterman's the only good Democrat left. Well, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, Fetterman is a good Democrat. But what the remaining American Democrats are going to have to realize is that you have played identity politics for so long that you have both won and lost. You have won and lost in the identity politics game. You have lost your own party because you have achieved your goal. You have effectively created
I was on a roll there for a minute.
Of people that prioritize foreign interests, tribal conflicts, ethnic superiority, and other forms of, tribalism over the American rule of law, over the Constitution, and over Western civilization. They've succeeded. They've totally succeeded in that, and it has been their complete undoing. And I think they deserve every single little bit about it. They have successfully failed. It's going to ruin them. It is. And I think that also the moment that you play some jihadi, right, or these people, this is a good example, right? So this is a person that won a Democratic primary. Let's listen to what they're saying.
And finding that, the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc.
There's usually a boat here.
Islamophobia have all been used.
There's a jet ski.
To colonize lands, right? To take resources from other people, and so this is a long trajectory, and we're just seeing.
What you have to understand is that the reason why they say this is it creates it's basically a permission structure for them to enable themselves to do the same thing. Basically, and you've heard a lot of people like this say that, where it's basically like, well, you guys colonized and now you're being colonized. It's like a permission structure to say this. I mean, she knows this isn't actually true.
Manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so
listen
a
to
lot
that,
of times
9/11.
To take resources from other people, and so this is a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so a lot of times people are asking us to respond about the past, right? When we look back historically, right, a lot of the lands that were colonized, right, were wars.
Yeah.
A lot of times people do politics or the policies in Europe, and so I find that we can connect over that, but then also that the idea that we have to apologize for the terror attack that people did, and then there is no apology or reparation for genocide, etc.
So this is the way that they look at things. And the point that I'm showing you here, a couple people did, yes, exactly. And so my point is with this is what the Democrat Party have brought into the country. This has been the ideology that they have nurtured, manifested, and now it's turning on them. That's really about it. They're turning on it. And by the way, I don't care, it doesn't matter, this is a person that's trying to rationalize 9/11. I'm not interested in disproving this or arguing with this person. And the reason why is my position is very simple. I will vote for whoever will militarize the entire military, the police, and the National Guard to forcefully remove every single person like this from my country. Every single person who is running defense for terrorism, every single person who is promoting terrorism, who sides with foreign enemies against America, I want to send them back to, if it's not where they came from, it's where their parents came from, If it's not where their parents came from, it's where their grandparents came from. If there's no other way to go, you're going to the Congo in Africa, but you're not staying here. That's the way I see it, and I will vote for whoever will do that. And I don't care what methods they use. I don't care how the sausage is made. All I want is to eat it. I do. That's all I care about. I want it. And so that's really the way I see it. That's where I'm at. And so, but I recognize this, but here's the problem, is that a lot of Democrats will hear me saying that, and they will say that I'm a bad person, or you shouldn't say this, or I'm wrong, or whatever.
Hybrids absolute
Well, now
woo.
these people,
Hey, what's up?
And the reality is that I think this is a sabotage for the Democratic Party. And the reason why it's a sabotage,
Oh, goddamn.
you have to look at Mamdani whenever he won. I think that he's a great politician, and he has a lot of positive qualities. But I think that you also have to contextualize it around the fact that he was running against somebody who literally put people in nursing homes that had COVID and killed a good, like, I know somebody whose elderly grandmother was killed indirectly by Governor Cuomo's, basically stupidity, right? And so, yeah, what? No, like, that was it. And this is person's valid. Yeah, exactly. Silwa is a cuck Republican. Well,
Hybrids absolute. You see the Nux Taku VID of him getting demonetized.
Yeah, he's going back to streaming.
Well, he didn't kill all of the old people, but he put old people in danger because of his mismanaging of COVID. And on top of that, there were sexual assault allegations, and I think nobody really liked him in New York. Like, what happened with Anthony Cuomo is a lot what
I should play his VOD.
Like I think Stephen
I wonder if he's got one.
In Canada, where this dude was like the biggest, dumbest, stupidest piece of shit, and everybody hated
Hybrids
him.
absolute.
And
He
so
streams
Justin
on Kick
Trudeau
now.
got elected because he wasn't
Yeah.
Stephen Harper. And I think that Mamdani also got elected because he
I'm gonna
wasn't
run and
Governor
see if
Cuomo.
he's got a VOD of his
I think
stream
that's a big
today,
reason, right?
or if he's still streaming.
Anthony Cuomo? Did I say the wrong
He
one?
said he was gonna start
No,
at
Anthony
3.
Cuomo's
I
the
don't
right
know.
one,
He
right?
might
Yeah,
not
Chris
do it for
Cuomo's
4 hours.
That's his brother, is a news anchor. And so what happened in the elderly in New York, I completely missed that. Basically, there were people...
But I planned this. Tonic brain sub bomb. All the billies want more. Low from nooks and no. Down low, nooks and no. Laughing wild and charge me more. Turn the chaos into law. He record is not the war. Yeah.
Sub. Tubby Rock, thank you for the sub. Beastie, thank you for the sub. Worst Jew ever? Damn. Miserable. Lord of the Frenzied Flame, thanks for the sub. Bro, that's crazy.
But I planned this. Tonic brain sub bomb. All the billies want more. Low from nooks and no. Down low, nooks and no. Laughing wild and charge me more. Turn the chaos into law. He record is not the war. Down low, nooks and no. Every joke a secret door. If you think you've seen it all, my belly's always cry for more. No from nooks and no. That's me suplexing your career in the ground. Scroll over regrets on my browsing tab. Take me back, take to a holding
Oh, that's it for my car, I guess. I want to say it's more up here. Wish I had a dirt bike would come in handy, or one of them Baja bugs.
Bless my soul.
I feel like it's further away.
yo, yo! How are we doing, everybody? How is life? I hope life is good. We are so back. We are so back.
Hybrids Absolute watched 325 consecutive streams and sparked a watch streak. Woo.
The GOAT has sent us a raid. Life moves on. Time flows ever forward. You know what I'm saying? We are so back. We are so here. I don't know if I pronounced your name wrong. It just kind of slithered by. Notification came and went, but thank you.
I think it's over on that hill over there.
How are we doing? How are we? Sparky Kaminari, thanks for the sub.
Hybrids Absolute, this is VOD.
Nussler, thanks for the
Yeah.
sub. Haiku.
Yeah, 4 hours ago.
Hiko, thanks for the sub. Gydra, thanks for the 50 tips. Emerson with the
God damn.
The actual GOAT. Thank you so
Hybrids
much.
Absolute kick.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it immensely. The support is very appreciated. Usra Persana with the 10 subs. Dude, you people are actually incredible. Yeah. We're probably going to be evolving the content. Usra Persana and Emerson, I really appreciate you a lot. Yeah, we are probably going to be beefing up the content style. Were we born? I was born in Canada. No one's perfect. Nux Tacos, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. The support is awesome. Yeah, no,
Hybrids
again,
Absolute might download kick to listen to it.
like, you guys are incredible. Thank you a lot. Mr. Dan the Manon, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry you're born in Canada. Listen, man, no one's perfect. We each have our cross to bear, as they say. Yeah. So your support is why it's literally my income right now. I'm just letting you know. My income is whatever you are generous enough to deign me with. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it. I was born in Washington, D.C. Well, it's not better than Canada, okay? Listen, man. At least it's not Canada. We're not DSP. Yeah, no, I don't beg. I don't beg. Just letting you know. Letting you know. YouTube fucked me. They demonetized me. Yeah. Yeah, people were saying, hey, can I see, like, what they told you? I can tell you exactly what they told me. They told me harassment. That's it. That's the only one word. They told me one word. All right? And that's
God damn it!
That's literally the only thing they told me.
How big is this
Listen,
fucking tree?
all your channels. Thanks for making content for 10 years or whatever. But yeah, we're demonetizing your channels. We're also withholding your funds because of harassment. That's the only thing they said. Yeah. I was born in Canada, now it's India. True. Random Doll, thanks for the 2,000 kicks. It was promised that 3,000 years ago. The next one returned to streaming on Kick after wandering the desert to YouTube. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're back. We're going to desperately require... I think I'm going to start doing more debates. Now that, like, I'm demonetized anyway. I might as well. Bait Main, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. They demolished you again. They demolished me again. Thanks, Shift Wave. Gooner Damas, thank you for the 5 subs. The support is very appreciated. Calebless, thank you for the 500 kicks. I thought of a way to fix the justice system and the judges by having both lawyers be the same gender and race, so the judges have to do blind justice. Yeah, that's retarded. No offense. We should not be judging people based on the color of their skin anyway. All right? If the only way to get an honest judge is to make sure that everyone's the same gender and shit, then the judge shouldn't be a judge. Giggly Bitch, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, and Beat Approved, thanks for the 100 kicks. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back, Nux. Since your last stream, I finished the Old Testament and the Gospels. Oh, hell yeah, dude was cooking. The Jews made you stream again. The Jews did make me stream again, I suppose. Yeah, so glass half full. We take this opportunity to only get stronger. 'Tis a challenge that God has placed before us.
Hybrids Absolute, how long he streamed for? I'll watch live tomorrow.
I don't know. I think 2 hours.
Do you know Nick Mateo? I do know Nick Mateo. That guy's great. Vibe.
For 3 hours and 45 minutes.
To find. Anywho, the Lord said to him, who gave human beings? Wow! It's crazy. It's actual insanity watching actual commentary. Tucker Carlson also doing the same thing. Speaking of, Tucker Carlson recently came out saying...
God damn it. Get up. It's not gonna let me watch the VOD through here. God damn it!
So President Trump just stormed to Capitol Hill immediately, and y'all won't believe what he just did. But now, Democrats are panicking. You got Chuck Schumer that's talking about if the Save America Act get passed, that is an assault on voting rights. Wow. Oh, ain't that something? Don't you got to show ID to get on a plane? Don't you got to show ID to get alcohol? Don't you got to show ID to do a lot of things, but they don't think you need ID to vote? This is what I'm talking about. So President Trump came face to face because he said, forget that, I'm not calling. I'm finna go over there. I'm finna rush over there to Capitol Hill, and I'm finna talk to John Thune, them, all of them in their face, and tell them exactly what's on my mind. He said behind the scenes, President Trump was not playing with any of them, especially old John Thune, because I don't know. Y'all let me know, how do y'all feel about John Thune? Is he working with the Democrats?
Ow!
Want to Save America Act passed? Let me know how y'all feel about John Thune in the comment section.
Goddamn
So please
bullshit.
hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shout out to everybody showing so much support. I appreciate all of you, especially the ones that always let me know in the comment section.
Chronic Dreamer AO, it's hybrids.
Video. So let's go ahead and dive straight into
Hey,
it.
what's
Before
up?
we get into President Trump rushing over there to Capitol Hill, look at this right here by James Comer. He pretty much breaking down what you need an ID for. So check this out.
We in Congress have many ideological differences. The importance of a valid voter ID
Chronic Dreamer, I made my
be one
account.
of those differences. After all, To enter the brand new Obama Presidential Library, you are required to present a valid ID. I'm a member of Congress. And obviously this is my workplace. Before I arrived yesterday, I had to show an ID at the TSA line at the Louisville airport, then show an ID to check in a hotel, then show my ID to get through the barrier gate around the Capitol, and finally I had to show my ID to enter the Rayburn office building. Yet there are members of Congress who do not want to show, who do not want to support a law to make it a requirement to show an ID to vote. Why? I will tell you why.
Why?
It's because they want to be able to cheat in elections. How?
Why?
Perhaps by voting people who are not legal residents of the United States. That's a theory a lot of people have that support the SAVE Act.
Yep.
And that, my friends, is wrong, and it's why many Americans have lost confidence in our electoral process. So my message to the U.S. Senate is this: do your job and pass the SAVE Act.
Exactly. So you see what I'm saying? So you need an ID to get in Obama's library. You need an ID to get on a plane, an ID to buy alcohol. When you get pulled over by the police, what do they ask you for? What do they ask you to show them? Your ID. That's what they ask you. So when a police pull you over, that's the first thing they ask you. Show me your license, show me your ID. I need to know who you are. But you don't have to show ID to vote? Oh, really? So here it go now. President Trump is about to surge to Capitol Hill to rally support for the Save America Act and to sign housing legislation restricting Wall Street investors buying single-family homes. 47 will meet with the NATO Secretary Mark Rutte and kick off the Great American State Fair tonight. He works hard. So let's check out this clip.
He'll head to Capitol Hill to push Senate Republicans to advance the Save America
God damn it.
Act. Then the commander-in-chief will reportedly huddle up with defense industry leaders before meeting with NATO's Secretary General.
Jackie Heinrich joins us live from the White House with the details. Hey, Jackie.
Good morning, you guys. The president's got another packed
Hybrids
day on his
absolute. I
agenda.
followed Nixon or.
He's heading to Capitol Hill reportedly to discuss with Republican senators the stalled SAVE Act. Bracing, they are, according to reports, for a heated discussion potentially. And while he's there, the press secretary says he's going to be signing the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, one of the most significant pieces of housing affordability legislation in American history. Caroline Levitt says President Trump promised to lower housing costs, and he is delivering, making it easier for every family to.
Exactly. So y'all see President Trump is pretty much storming over there to Capitol Hill because, like I said he just want to talk to them face to face. That's what he wants to do. Now, I say break it behind closed doors. President Trump just told John Thune to his face at the GOP lunch to be a leader and get the votes to pass the Save American Act now. That's what President Trump is saying. Pass it now. What is you waiting on? 47 even floated Mike Lee's proposal for a talking filibuster to get it done. It's simple. No excuses, no delays. Start fighting.
So I think we had a really great meeting, and we're very proud of the party. We like our leader. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay. I think we know who they are. But I'll give you that information someday. But for the most part, we have a really well unified party. And I said it very strongly. We have the hottest.
I feel like it's around here somewhere.
We're the most powerful. We're the smartest. We're the most respected. 2 years ago, we were a laughing stock all over the world. We had a terrible group of people representing us. Every leader, I just left G7. Every leader, and we had a lot of people in addition to G7, as you know, came. Everyone said, what we've done in a year and a half is a miracle. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want to keep it that way. We have more factories being built right now than we have at any point at any time in the history of our country. And all of those factories are opening up soon. It's all jobs. And our job numbers are incredible anyway. I see that oil just broke the $70 number. Who would have thought that was going to happen? And that's during a war. And Iran is being very nice. They're agreeing to everything that I want. and they have to. Otherwise, we just go back and do what we have to do. Thank you very much.
So, what y'all think? Do y'all think
Hybrids Absolute what
Leader
S the
John
picture
Thune
on the screen that S
is
new to
listening
your stream
President
layout?
Trump? Let me know in the comment section. Or do y'all believe all he
Over
has
on
to
the
say,
right?
he's not going to do it? He's working with the Democrats. I would love to hear what y'all have to say about all of this.
Is that what you're talking about? That picture on the right?
President Trump.
That's my phone from the game. I'm doing the treasure hunt.
Have to keep, talking about. He's been talking about this for the longest. Pass the Save America Act.
Hybrids Absolute. Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. That S in game hater.
This mail-in ballot stuff. That stuff gotta go.
Said I'm not signing the housing bill. I want to see what happens with Sam. Look, the housing bill is housing. I made billions of dollars with housing. I know housing better than anybody, maybe anywhere. It's all about the interest rate. Lower the interest rates, you can have all the housing you want. But you have to understand, I don't want to hurt people that own houses. The Save America Act. Everybody wants it. Everybody is it, including Democrats. 87% of Democrats.
Could it be over there?
Not the leaders, because they want it cheap. Their policy is so bad, they're unelectable.
I think it is.
So President Trump on why he's playing hardball with the Senate over the Save America Act.
This is every election is important. We're doing very well. They want a lot of communists to come in. I'm saying it a little bit differently, but the people that they're pushing are communists, and this country is not going to have communists. Thank you very much.
And here go old Leader Thune again. Cause now it's getting ridiculous. Now somebody made this right here. It said the pass the Save America Act, and I want to show y'all this.
The House Freedom Caucus led in passing the Save America Act in the House to require voter ID and citizenship to vote in federal elections. Now it goes to the
I feel like
Senate.
maybe I should be a little further away.
Yeah,
that's hard to fucking tell.
There, but that's not true. Senate rules allow bringing the Save America Act to the floor at any time. If 51 Republicans show up, Democrats would have to filibuster, standing and talking, hour after hour, to block it. As long as Republicans show a backbone and stay united, Democrats will eventually run out of time to talk. Tell your senator to make the Democrats actually debate instead of just giving in to them. The House Freedom Caucus says the Senate should support President Trump and the House in passing this law essential to saving America. The Freedom Caucus Foundation is responsible for this ad.
Wow. So now, as y'all can see, it's just been getting out of hand. And you see President Trump is right now behind closed doors telling the Senate GOP to get moving on the Save America Act.
That we have not seen since Donald Trump reshaped the Republican Party around his platform several years ago.
You see that? Trump hold fury meeting because they said he was yelling. He wasn't playing around, and there was already a few in there that he didn't like. He pretty much admitted that a few minutes ago. So they said, yeah, he was in there yelling. And I'm pretty sure John Thune got an earful too, because I don't know what he's got going on. I've been seeing y'all been calling him a
really
rhino.
Mad at Congress because they have not passed the Save America Act. And Congress, are really mad at him because he killed a bill signing today as a result of Congress not passing that Save America Act. So they've got a lot to talk about at a closed-door lunch in addition to the war in Iran.
The war is going very well. As you know, we're winning by a lot. Iran is making very big concessions. We'll see what happens, but it's been very, very, very powerful. It's going very, very well.
And brand new from Truth Social, part of a post about Iran peace talks says, we will be releasing some of their money that is totally controlled by us to our farmers and ranchers for the purchase of corn, wheat, soybeans, and more. Food is desperately needed in Iran, and we will be purchasing it for them exclusively from the United States. Next up here, an Oval Office meeting with the head of NATO, seen on screen there, Mark Rutte.
I think also he is right to move to this deal. And in essence, what it means is that Iran will not be able to develop this nuclear capability and therefore not be a threat to the region and the wider world.
And for those keeping score at home, Mark Rutte is the official who last summer referred to Donald Trump as Daddy. John.
Boy. So, we move on right here. It's 8 moments ago, President Trump stuns the Republican by canceling the housing bill signing until Congress passes the Save America Act. Because, see, this is where we know the midterms is coming up. This right here needs to be passed. The Save America Act needs to be passed right now. That's the reason why President Trump is doing what he's doing. That's why he said, you know what, I'm just going to cancel this housing bill. Let's get the Save America Act passed right quick. So let's check this out.
But he wasn't aware that President Trump had put this Truth Social out in the middle of that press conference, canceling the signing ceremony for that housing bill, saying, quote, today's housing news conference and signing is hereby canceled until such time as we pass the desperately needed Save America Act, which I consider to be a national emergency. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So you heard Speaker Johnson say he agrees. We got to pass the Save America Act. The problem is the only way Senate Republicans can do it, basically, is to nuke the filibuster. And Senate Majority Leader John Thune has said repeatedly they do not have the votes to do it. So we're now in this gridlock where Republicans want Save America attached to everything, but they just can't get it across the finish line.
All right,
this is crazy. I'm not believing this, man. Like, this is insane. I just believe John Thune don't want to do it. Yeah, I mean, that's just what I'm getting out of it. Y'all let me know. Look at this. Leader John Thune just walked off the Senate floor and learned President Trump canceled the housing bill signing ceremony because he didn't pass the Save America Act. Look at this. Thune said, I don't have an observation. Wake up call, Thune. Get to work. So he pretty much just walked off the floor because President Trump just canceled. Pass the Save America Act. I don't believe John Thune want to pass it. That just how I feel. I don't believe he want to pass it. He keep telling President Trump, Republican, we don't have enough votes. And then I've just been seeing a lot of people say they just not buying it. They're just saying he just don't want to do it. So
it said I was near it over here.
Done about this.
Has said that there aren't the votes to end the filibuster in the Senate, and that there aren't the votes to pass the SAVE Act. So what's going to change with those two factors?
Well,
it looks.
He came there today to praise the people that had been on America's side from the Republican caucus in the Senate. He also came to point out the people that are fighting back against the American people, not against Trump. I mean, this is not President Trump that they're voting against. They're voting against the American people. And so he just made it very simple. Okay, we've just got a few months left. We can pass a lot of things, but the only way we can do it is bust the filibuster. And you that are refusing to do that, you're worried about your election, or you're worried about personalities, you're worried about things that you shouldn't be worried about. Worry about the dang country. Worry about our country and vote for our country. Vote for freedom, vote for democracy, vote for a constitutional republic. Because if we don't, this will be the last time. We're behind in a lot of polls in the Senate in some of these states. And a lot of people aren't going to vote, as President Trump says, and he's hearing it everywhere.
So, are you saying that he moved people today, that he moved people who were against ending the filibuster into the yes category in there today?
Yeah, I don't know whether he moved him. We'll find out. But I'll tell you one thing. If they don't change their vote after that talk, then we won't be able to get to them. Again, it's about getting things done, not just the Save America Act. We could probably get 15, 20 things done before the election if we bust the filibuster. That's what it was all about.
Exactly. So you see, President Trump wasn't there to play any games. He came there. He was all about business. He was all about business with this. Let's check this
Number one thing that people want, they want fair elections. We just saw the nonsense in California, and we're seeing the nonsense of...
That's what I was just telling y'all about, the nonsense that was in California, because like I said, if this were passed a while ago, this would have never happened to Spencer Pratt. I guarantee you, if Spencer Pratt just said he wasn't in first place, he definitely came in second. He should have been won on election night. So I don't like the fact how California got for where election can just keep going. Because remember, at first, they talking about the election, that we're going to keep counting all the way to July 5th. Remember that? It's like it don't take that long to count. So you got to realize Spencer Pratt was up with 5-6 days, and all of a sudden, this Nithya Raman just straight past him. It's like, what? This woman lost her district. Nobody even knows this woman. And she just shot straight past, Spencer Pratt. And they was doing the same thing to Steve Hilton.
Save America Act is the #1 thing that people want. They want fair elections. We just saw the nonsense in California, and we're seeing the nonsense of these communists taking over our country. And they're not socialists, they are communists. And so President Trump was exactly right. I'm proud of what he did today. He spoke up, he called people out. They had a very good conversation back and forth. But people need to be called out. If you're not going to vote for this country, my God, folks, we are in trouble. And President Trump needs help, and we're not giving him 100% the help that he needs.
So you talked about the number of ways that you could pass the SAVE Act. Can you elaborate on that? Is there any movement that would sort of take some pieces out of it that might get the thrust of voter ID across the finish line, Senator?
Yeah, that's a no-go. He's not going to take anything out of the Save America Act. What's in there needs to stay. We just talked about the avenues of the talking filibuster, or voting out the regular filibuster and voting it in. Because this is, and President Trump's right here. Again, I travel the country. If we don't do something with the filibuster and we don't get things passed, it'll be the last time we'll have a Republican president or a Republican Senate or a House. That's how fast this country is going down to communism.
Yep.
And we need to stop it. We can stop it. It's balls in our court. President Trump said that, balls in your court. I'm here to support you. Let me know if there's anything I can do. But this is what we have to do to save the United States of America from communism. He's exactly
right. Because remember, President Trump said over and over, if the Democrats ever regain power again, they're going to do the filibuster. He said they're going to do it. Without a doubt. He said no sooner they get in there, they're going to do it. And so I don't know why, but and another thing President Trump made a point on, he said, it seemed like a lot of these other Republicans, like they worried about their election. And he said some things like that. He said, look, we got to worry about the country. You're up here worried about your election, so you don't want to do it. But, man, they definitely got to do it. Because, like I said, the midterms is coming, and it definitely needs to be passed. So
what the fuck is this thing?
Tim Sheehy calls on Republican holdouts to start fighting for the Save America Act and follow President Trump's lead.
But it's going to be an interesting rest of the lunch, I think.
Well, the president was headed up there originally to sign the Road to Housing Act. But apparently he had some other thoughts just before going up there. He put this out on Truth Social. Today's housing news conference and signing is hereby canceled until such time as we pass the desperately needed Save America Act, which I consider to be a national emergency. This was a bipartisan bill, this Road to Housing Act. A lot of people were excited about the fact that it passed and the president was going to sign it. What do you think about him pulling the plug on it?
I think he's expressing the
It
frustration
seems more
that
like
a lot of Americans are feeling, John, which is 80% of Americans support election
that
security,
one.
and we have not been able to get a single Democrat across the aisle and vote alongside us to institute common sense election security, voter ID, securing voter rolls from non-citizen voters, making sure that mail-in voting is done securely and appropriately. These are common sense voter security measures that all that are quite common in other countries, and we cannot get a single Democrat to cross the aisle and support us in this effort. And the president, rightfully so, is extremely frustrated that we've not been able to move this through Congress. So he's obviously trying a different tactic here. We'll see if it works.
All right, so he's trying to use his leverage on that. Do you think it'll work?
I hope so, because I think we have a couple of holdouts from our side that I think could join the fight and help us with this. But more importantly, there are a lot of Democrats that want to see the Road to Housing Act passed.
So, I don't know, man, Republicans got to do something. And then you got to look at people like Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffrey, all these people who sitting up here crying. Look what this man just said. This man called it, just because President Trump said he wants you to show ID to vote, Chuck Schumer is calling it an assault on voting rights because President Trump said something about showing an ID. Show an ID to vote. Show that you're a U.S. citizen. And this man is calling it an assault on voting rights. This is just ignorant.
The GOP will continue going along with Trump's all-out assault on voting rights with legislation like the SAVE Act. If my colleagues across the aisle have any sense at all, they ought to grill Trump on affordability, on his failed war with Iran, on his effort to hold American national security hostage, and all his other policies that are hurting the American people. When they emerge from their meeting, will Republicans have told Trump the truth? Will they speak truth to power? Will they do their job? Or will they just
bend and obeisance to them.
Look at this, man.
Frustrated, more angry, more infected than they've ever been. On the Iran powers resolution.
Chuck Schumer is just a piece of crap. I mean, calling it an assault because President Trump put up in the bill that you need to show ID to vote. So, and like he said, they don't want that because they want to be able to cheat. And they know for a fact, if you are now being required to show ID, none of them illegal aliens that's over here would not be able to vote. They know that. They know they'll never regain power if this right here is passed. That's why they fighting against it. That's the reason why they fighting against it. I know it. They know. Everybody knows it.
It's had a colorful march from the Senate, in the Senate. Would you be open to a compromise measure that had provisions of the SAVE Act into a reconciliation?
Not really. No, the SAVE Act should be just a compromise. It's voter ID, it's proof of citizenship, and it's also the mail-in ballots. We want mail-in ballots for the military if they're away. We want them for people that are ill, or people that are in some form handicapped or have a hard time, or people even that are on vacation. I'm open to that. But mail-in ballots, you have to vote because we have a lot of rigged elections.
And
then we added in men in women's sports as a no-no. No men in women's sports, and no transgender mutilization of our children. These are 99% issues, and we have to do it. We have to protect. Look at what's going on in Los Angeles and California. The vote still hasn't been counted. What's it, 2 weeks now? It still hasn't been counted. And I don't know Spencer Pratt, but I watched him, and he was doing really nicely. All of a sudden, he's out. And I said he was going to be out because he was doing well. And then a week later, they started saying, oh, he's starting to lose favor. He's starting to lose. I said, they just rigged the election. And they were going to do that with Steve Hilton. He's a good man. And I asked the U.S. Attorney to go look at their votes. And as soon as they did that, they announced that Steve Hilton would be a finalist. So, no, we have rigged elections. Now, in my case, I made it too big to rig. Remember the expression, too big to rig? But we have rigged, we have to have voter ID. If we don't have voter ID and proof of citizenship, but basically it's the Save America Act.
So let's check out this right here by John Thune. But not only that, even Scott Presley is surging to John Thune's home state of South Dakota to prepare a GOP primary challenge if he doesn't pass the Save America Act. Pressure is building. And you see he posted right here, he said, I'm on my way to South Dakota right now to hire field staff to ensure Senate Majority Leader Thune has a Texas-sized primary mobilized against him in 2028, unless, of course, he passes the Save America Act.
Mr. President, this week the Senate takes a big step forward on an issue that's important to many Americans, and that's home ownership. Whether you read about it in the news or hear about it in conversation with friends and family members, most people know that the dream of home ownership is out of reach for too many people in our country. Limited housing supply and burdensome regulations have contributed to higher prices, and many Americans are simply being priced out of the housing market. That, Mr. President, is a problem. And it's a problem we aim to address with the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. Mr. President, the 21st century, Road to Housing Act tackles some of the causes of the higher prices that are preventing too many Americans from realizing the dream of home ownership. As much as 25% of the cost of building a new single-family home comes from regulations. That figure rises to 40% for multifamily construction. As you can imagine, that contributes quite a bit to the price that Americans pay for that home. So this bill cuts unnecessary red tape that's delaying construction and driving up prices. For example, it removes the outdated chassis requirement for manufactured housing, which will not only reduce the cost of manufactured homes, but allow for more innovation in manufactured home design. And then there are the costs and delays associated with the environmental review process. This bill enables state, local, and tribal governments to streamline environmental reviews. It right-sizes the NEPA process and exempts certain rural housing projects from these extensive and often burdensome reviews. And it directs the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the USDA to coordinate joint environmental reviews for housing projects funded by both agencies. It should go without saying, Mr. President, that if it's one project, there should be
I don't
one
get
review.
Pass the Save America Act, Thune. But like I said, Scott Pressler didn't stop there. He said 84% of Americans want photo voter ID. You are the Senate Majority Leader. Why are you not constantly pushing and working with your 52 other colleagues to ensure the passage of the Save America Act? If the Save America Act does not go into effect by November of 2026, then I promise peacefully you will have a Texas-sized primary in 2028. I'm returning to South Dakota at the end of the month to hire field staff. If you won't give us what we elected you to do, then what's the point of having a Senate majority? Remember what happened in Louisiana and Texas, respectfully. So you see, Scott Pressler is not playing with John Thune at all. He's not playing at all. Because hey, he pretty much gonna be done. Now, I want to show y'all that even Rick Scott was speaking on this.
We've got to pass the Save America Act. Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. Right? Do we have the votes today? No, we don't. But let's vote every day. Let's either vote, are we going to pass the Save America Act? Are we going to vote to pass voter ID? You have to be an American citizen to register to vote. We've got to clean up our voter rolls. Whatever we can get done, let's vote on something about securing our elections each and every day.
They don't want to do that. And we know for a fact, ain't no Democrats going to vote for it because they want to be able to cheat. So we know. So that's why President Trump kept saying, nuke the filibuster. That's going to be the only way because Democrats is not going to vote. You hear the crap coming out of Hakeem Jeffries' mouth. You hear what Chuck Schumer just said. He calling it assault. An assault on voter rolls because President Trump said you need to show ID to vote. And now all of a sudden that's an assault. So I guess it's an assault when you get pulled over by the police and they say, let me see your ID. I guess it is an assault when you go into a club or you get on a plane, they say, hey, let me see your ID. Is that an assault? I mean, that right there is just crazy. Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely crazy to me.
I don't...
So like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all
fucking
think
thing
about
is...
this. Once again,
picture is big as fuck.
The ones that made it to the end. And I always got to let y'all know, if you want to support the channel, I do have a Cash App and a PayPal right under this video in the description. If you would like to support me in any type of way, I appreciate all of you. And like I said, once again, I will keep y'all up to date as more information comes out. And I catch y'all.
Die, asshole!
The damage reached as far as 25 feet into the heart of the Empress, instantly killing several second and third class passengers as they slept, as well as several crew.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Kendall quickly called out to the opposing crew to remain full ahead as to keep the ships together, hoping that the ship's stern would keep the Empress's hull plugged while they evacuated the survivors. However, the Storstad was already commanded full astern before the impact to try to minimize the momentum of the collision. Paired with the strength of the river's current, the two ships were separated within seconds and the Empress's hull began to flood.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Despite attempts to prolong the sinking through the closure of watertight doors, the ocean liner sank in just 14 minutes flat, taking with it the souls of over 1,000 passengers and crew. Although its bow took a hell of a beating, the Storstad remained afloat and deployed lifeboats, rescuing roughly 200 from the frigid waters. After extensive investigations with both sides giving conflicting stories, blame was mostly put on the Storstad as it had deviated from its original heading after the fog had rolled in, reportedly due to a misinterpretation of the actions of the Empress. According to their testimony, the crew of the Storstad believed that the Empress was turning towards them, as to pass port to port rather than the original starboard to starboard. This explains the Storstad's bizarre decision to turn starboard right into the Empress's path, ultimately leading to the collision. To add insult to injury, the fog that started the whole debacle had lifted just a few minutes after impact. Could have just waited it out. If there was ever a prime example of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, it would be at Lake Nyos in Cameroon, Africa on August 21st, 1986. That explosion right there was a limnic eruption, also called a lake overturn. Let's take a look at what that really means. Towards the bottom of Lake Nyos is a high concentration of carbon dioxide being farted out from heavy volcanic activity deep below the lake bed. With depths reaching as far as 680 feet down, the substantial pressure at the bottom of the lake dissolves the majority of the released CO2 into the surrounding water. This creates a gradient along the depth of the lake, with deeper waters being rich in carbon dioxide and surface waters being more rich in oxygen. It's a very delicate equilibrium which, if thrown off balance, can have catastrophic results. And as you can imagine, this is exactly what happened. Now, scientists haven't exactly agreed on what kickstarted this chain of events. Prevailing theories have ranged from earthquakes to landslides to even really no outside influence whatsoever. But what is known is that the entire system was momentarily disrupted, causing a massive volume of CO2-enriched water to rise to the higher, less pressurized zones of the lake. With less pressure, enormous volumes of the dissolved CO2 effervesced out of the water in a runaway reaction. And there's the word of the day for you: effervescence. No, it's not that bring me to life band, it's when dissolved gas rapidly escapes out of a liquid solution, usually by a catalytic pressure differential. You know, like when you pop open a soda bottle and you see all the bubbles start fizzing? That's effervescence. Basically the same thing was happening here, except with the case of Lake Nyos, it was magnitudes worse. At 9:30 at night on August 21st, 1986, it's estimated that as much as 300,000 tons of carbon dioxide, along with various volcanic gases like sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, erupted from the depths of Lake Nyos. The sudden, extreme displacement of water caused the level of the lake to drop by about 4 feet, and the force of the explosion completely leveled the trees in the surrounding area. The now escaped dense gas quickly formed a thick fog that crept along the surface of the water and spilled down the hillside. Unluckily, of course, right towards populated villages. The fog reportedly swept across the landscape with speeds upwards of 30 miles an hour. It was an unstoppable beast. The first village in its path was Lower Nyos. As the cloud consumed the village, residents lost consciousness within seconds. Many were suffocated in their sleep, while others collapsed where they stood before any sense of what was even happening. Okay, what am I? Dead? Within minutes, Lower Nyos suffered a catastrophic 98% fatality rate. Of approximately 1,200 villagers, only a handful survived simply because they were on slightly higher ground. Next to be engulfed was Subang, which suffered a 50% fatality rate, followed by the 45% fatality rate in the village of Cha. The gas cloud had reached as far as 15 miles from the lake before dissipating. In its wake, it left the bodies of not only 1,700 villagers, but 3,500 livestock, as well as countless birds and insects. The entire region was cast into an eerie silence. Where you would usually hear the chirps and chitters of nature, now there was nothing. Any survivors stood amidst an inexplicable sea of death, unable to do anything about it. Since the disaster, preventative measures have been put in place to avoid history repeating itself. In 2001, a permanent degassing pipe was installed, allowing a controlled release of CO2 from the bed of the lake to the surface, with 2 additional pipes being installed in 2011. As of 2019, it's been determined that the degassing process is in steady state and successfully self-sustaining, requiring no external power, meaning that it can continue on in perpetuity under current conditions. At least there's some good news in the story. The morning of December 6, 1917 marks one of the worst disasters in Canadian history, just slightly ahead of the Canucks losing the Stanley Cup to the Bruins in 2011. 2 vessels cruised along the Halifax Harbor in Nova Scotia, Canada. On one side, you had the SS Imo, a Norwegian merchant steamship tasked with transporting relief supplies to Belgium amidst the events of World War I. Schwanging on over to the other side, you have the SS Mont Blanc, a French cargo steamship tasked with carrying about 3,000 tons of war explosives. The captain of the Mont Blanc, commanding basically a giant floating bomb, was eager for things to go nice and smooth. You know, sit back, chill, admire the sights of a nice and unexploded city. The captain of the Imo, however, was feeling rather impatient that day. He and his crew just spent several days in the harbor waiting on delayed supplies and wanted to get underway. In doing so, the captain ignored the shipping channel's etiquette and protocol, zooming towards the harbor above the posted speed limit of 5 knots, or just about 6 miles an hour. It was a real speed demon, that one. Being in such a hurry, the impatient Norwegian butthole propelled himself right in the path of a small vessel entering the harbor. He was able to dodge the dinghy, only to immediately counter a second, larger vessel, which forced the captain to dip out of the way towards the opposite side of the harbor. Coincidentally entering that same side of the harbor was the SS Mont Blanc. But this was one emo that just wouldn't be cutting across a third time. Oh, get out the fucking way, God! The two ships were set to collide, and both crews frantically demanded the other to move aside. With no time to spare, both ships halted their engines, and the Mont Blanc turned port side to avoid impact. But at the same moment, the Emo slammed its engines in reverse, causing the bow of the ship to drift starboard, ramming its tip right into the delicate Mont Blanc. The two ships hit at a very low speed, just over 1 mile an hour, so the resulting damage was, momentarily, very minimal. That's all well and good, but remember that the Mont Blanc was carrying a shit ton of
goddamn clothing!
And the percentage for that material was hundreds
Do you
of
want a
grams of
hoodie?
benzol, a
Fucking
highly flammable fuel. Several drums were dislodged in the collision and ruptured, spilling right onto the deck. The wonderful thing about flammable materials is that they're completely harmless unless there's an ignition source. You know, like a spark of some kind. Yeah, like those. As the ships began to drift apart, some metal-on-metal friction did exactly what you'd expect. Sparks flew and landed on the puddles of fuel. The crew aboard the Mont Blanc knew what was about to happen and quickly abandoned ship, frantically swimming to shore and warning any nearby residents to run for their freaking lives. But if you know anything about humans, it's that we're often drawn to catastrophe. I want to touch it. If you see some shit going down and you feel that you're out of harm's way, you're gonna be cracking open a beer with the boys and watching it all unfold. C'est un peu fou? The real kicker here, though, is that none of these people were out of harm's way, as they would soon find out. The blazing Mont Blanc ominously drifted towards the shores of the town of Halifax. At 9:04 a.m., all hell broke loose. The hull of the Mont Blanc blew its load, creating the largest human-made explosion in history up to that point. Everything within a 1.5 mile radius was instantly Exodia obliterated. Large heaps of burning shrapnel tore through the surrounding area, whole buildings were completely deleted, a tsunami ripped ships from the water and tossed them about like toys. In the initial blast, as many as 1,600 people were simply erased from existence. For those outside of the immediate death zone, the shockwave of the explosion rattled homes, with onlookers finding themselves blinded by shards of glass from their shattered windows. Stoves and oil lamps were toppled, igniting thousands of fires throughout the city and trapping residents within their homes. The blast was felt as far as 129 miles away. After the dust had settled, rescue efforts were immediate. Anyone that was able to swarmed in to help, pulling survivors from rubble or transporting the injured to any unaffected hospitals. Military and merchant ships were sent in and quickly converted to serve as makeshift medical clinics. Fire brigades from across the region arrived to put out whatever fires they could. Surviving trains on nearby rails were used to evacuate survivors to outer hospitals as the local ones quickly became overwhelmed. Keep in mind that this was during the height of World War I, so there were many initial worries of this being an enemy attack. These worries, along with rumors of a possible second explosion, halted some rescue attempts for several hours until it was clear that this was just a freak accident. Thankfully, the rescue efforts were proving successful, but things only got worse. The following day, a strong blizzard struck Halifax, blanketing the city in 16 inches of snow and completely cutting it off from the outside world. The pounding
I cheated on my husband on our wedding day. Ooh, Yeah.
No.
That's one you should have taken to the grave.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We're doing something a little different today.
That's something you
Welcome
shouldn't
to
have done.
Take It to the Grave.
Shouldn't
where
have done
we
it.
Read out your confessions.
And we tell you, you probably should have taken that to the grave.
Introducing the confession box.
I don't know. Ooh. Spooky.
So spooky. So, the first one is I cheated on my husband on our wedding day.
Yikes.
This one's from the You Need Jesus Instagram account. One of my favorite Instagram accounts, I may say. I'm like actually nervous. Like
This is horrible.
I'm scared.
Because like when you get married, you just like internalize it and think about like, what if that happened on your wedding day? If you did that to me.
Okay, all right. I cheated on my husband on our wedding day.
God damn
I
it.
never cheated on him before. I didn't even do it at the bachelorette party. I'm not that type of girl.
Sure.
All right, there we go.
Okay, I loved my husband then, and I love him now. I just wanted the best of everything for my wedding. Shut up.
Oh, God.
Like, actually stop right now. Stop right now. Thank you very, very much.
I need somebody with a human touch.
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this whole video. It just so happened that the best makeup artist was my crush from junior high school who I'd never been with.
So it's a guy?
I don't know. You know, guys can be makeup artists. It's not common, but you know. Husband, then fiance, didn't know him, so it is a man. I didn't want my husband to feel nervous because there were no bad intentions.
But you failed to mention that you had a crush on this guy in junior high.
Why did you hire him if you knew that you had a crush on him? Can we just unpack this for a second? Like,
Yeah, let's open the
what
bag.
on
Hang on.
God's green earth were you thinking? You hire someone that you had a massive crush on to do your makeup on your wedding day?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's like some sort of Freudian joke right
This
there.
is like premeditated. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if
Hey,
this was a
are you
murder,
looking after the-
like, and I was like a detective, I would look at that and be like, first degree premeditated.
Get our friend to a nice Jewish doctor.
You know, like get somebody else. Are they really that good?
There's a million makeup artists out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's your makeup artist again?
Who's my makeup artist?
Yeah, yeah.
Brit. For my wedding?
Yeah, good.
Brit. You knew that though. You met her.
I know. I just wanted to hear one more time. There were no
Like,
men in the room?
other than the videographer? No. The videographer was a man and a content creator, but anyways.
I'll have to talk to those guys after this video. Carry on. Carry on!
Okay, on the morning of, I asked for only my girlfriends to be there for makeup to enjoy ourselves. Family could come later. As he was doing his thing, something started to change in me. I don't know why, but this weird urge came out of me.
Oh, I just did some asking around, and this guy is a sustainability manager and an environmental consultant for Globe Oil. Do you have any idea how wealthy and sadistic those kind of people are? So yeah, please don't let him die. And if we ever needed friends with a stake in the price of gas, it's now.
At your bachelorette party. Like, that's like literally the bare minimum. I turned around and grabbed. Oh, we can't put that on YouTube.
You grabbed his schnitzel?
I think he knew what was
Tomorrow,
coming, so
the
he
air
let-
quality's gonna be terrible,
And
they
I
said.
started.
Shut the fuck up.
This is awful. My friends were all quiet at first because the
They were there? Oh my god!
Oh please, spare me. Your friends were in the room.
That is messed up. Bro, that's like assault. You played with his schnitzel in front of a bunch of your friends and put them all in a position. Oh my gosh.
It's like a train wreck. I can't look away.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Okay, so hold on. My friends were all quiet at first because of the shock, but then they were laughing and cheering.
Yeah, because you made them so uncomfortable, they didn't want to ruin your day and tell you to probably not do
We didn't even kiss, so at the end I asked for one just to get that out of the way. Then he finished my makeup like nothing happened.
Oh, bro, this makes me sick.
Hey everyone, welcome to Take It to the Grave. This is a spicy one. Okay, obviously we have to censor a very large amount, but hopefully the adults watching this can discern what went on. And otherwise you can just go to the You Need Jesus Instagram account. It's DamnYNJ on Instagram, and you can read it for yourself. I'm not gonna say it because there's little babies watching. I walked down the aisle and married my man. What happened didn't change the love I had for him. Like I said, I love my man. It was some dumb urge I needed to get out of the way. I did it, and now it's done. I know you're all going to judge me, but I don't care because I don't need external validation from any of you. I feel good about myself, and I did this for me, and that's all that matters.
You sound like a sociopath.
You sound pretty proud of yourself, but like I don't think you'll be as proud of yourself if your husband ever found out what you did. I trust my judgment in this, and I'm most comfortable knowing this decision was made for me and my emotional health, and I don't have to explain myself to anybody.
You're playing the victim here. Like, I deserve it.
She's like
all this stuff. Buddy, on your wedding day, you cheated on your husband?
There is absolutely no excuse.
No excuse.
For your emotional health, Mike, you know what? I'm having a really, really shitty day. My emotional health is at an all-time low. I'm just gonna go out and someone. Do you mind?
You know what? Sure, I just won't be here when you get back.
So other people in the comments are pointing out that, like, dude, you hired this person months in advance.
This is premeditated.
Like, why are you thinking that this is a good idea? It's kind of like,
oh, let me just go out with my ex to, like, get closure before I get married.
You shouldn't be seeing these people.
Why would you even hire this person? It's like, did you want to get some sort of validation? Did you want him to see you at your prettiest, at your peak, or something like that? Like, I don't understand the logic here.
This is one you definitely should have taken to the grave.
And also, take to the grave all your friends' eyes because they had to witness that.
Yeah, I find it very unlikely that your friends all clapped as you did this. I don't know.
You go, girl. Way to go.
It could be fake, honestly. Like, that is a little too cray-cray. Like, I've read a lot of crazy stuff, but
It could be fake, yeah.
it could be fake. So keep that in mind. I honestly, genuinely hope that it is.
Liar!
Next, confession.
Hit me, Charlotte.
I secretly put money in my pant pocket so my husband will do the laundry. Okay, I needed some comic relief after that. Whew, okay.
We have a funny laundry system. Like, neither of us do each other's. We kind of just do our own thing.
I know that's gonna change, like, if and when we have children, but like also.
I like the way I do my laundry, and you like the way you do your laundry.
Honestly, he gets mad at me when I touch his laundry.
Here's my system. Call me crazy, all right? Cold water, quick wash, and hang dry everything.
But that still doesn't explain why you don't want me to do your laundry.
You don't have to.
So back to the story. I put $5 to $10 a week in my clothes. He thinks he's getting one over on me because we both have a weekly budget. He doesn't know that he is part of my budget. If I even tried to do the laundry, he's like, no, I got it. Worth every red cent. This is so funny because, like, he's doing the laundry with the intention of getting money out of it, not out of the goodness of his heart. But he's making you think it's out of the goodness of his heart.
This is messed up.
You're both with each other. And you are trying to motivate him to do your laundry by putting money in the pocket.
I don't know what's more fucked up. I think they're both pretty fucked up.
It's kind of up either way.
It's kind of hilarious, actually.
It is really like, I don't hate it. I think that's really funny. So everyone in the comments is like, you're a genius. Honestly, it's pretty smart. But like, why doesn't the husband want to do the laundry just out of the goodness of his heart?
All right, as much as I love having product that could get me locked up for life under this roof, it's time to say goodbye. This buyer wants the delivery split up, so drive to the drop-offs I give you in any order.
Your spouse to do anything nice for you. Just saying. By the way, I know people are gonna be like, they're fake candles, so just calm down. Before I get 50 emails of people that are concerned about the flames.
Have you ever talked about what happened on Christmas last year?
Have I talked about it? I don't do well with local flames, okay? Okay, so picture this. Christmas dinner, fancy hotel. There's a bar with a flame on it.
Like a little candle.
Little, just a tiny little candle. And I'm leaning up against the bar. I'm a little sauced at this point. I do this. And this was also my wedding year as well. So like I lost like a fair chunk of hair.
You know who's looking, but someone, like, you didn't even notice. It was the back of your head.
Yeah.
And then I just smell something, and then I turn around, and then I just see someone, like, tapping your head, and I'm like, what's going on?
Beating me up, trying to get this flame out.
And you were, like, laughing, right? You were like, oh, yeah, it's good.
Well, yeah, because it's like, what the? I literally just caught fire. Like, what am I supposed to do?
You didn't know how bad it could have been.
Yeah.
We were just like, are you okay? You're like, yeah, I'm good. And I was like, and then, like, a day later, you process what happened, and you're like, I could have cut my hair off.
If someone didn't pat out that flame when they did, I would have lost all my hair. The point of the story is I am not around local flames. Because they're fake candles, they're from home sense.
And also they're covered.
Okay, I lied to everyone in my life for 20 years that I'm Jewish. Why would you do that?
Actually, I have a confession related to this.
What?
I'm not Italian.
Oh, well, we knew that.
I'm not Italian.
He's not Italian.
But I kept having to tell people. I kept playing along. Anyways, I get it. I can empathize. That's why I laughed. I thought it was funny.
I'm not Jewish, not even a little bit. If you ask me any questions about Judaism, I couldn't tell you, but still, everyone thinks I'm Jewish. It all started in high school, 11th grade. I just moved from California to the South, and it was a rough time. I was called every horrible name in the book because I talked different and got the crap beat out of me multiple times. Oh. Well, I slowly befriended some of the guys on the football team, and my closest friend was the center. We'll call him Greg. Greg is a super chill guy compared to everyone around him, but he's still very racist. And very open about
A chill racist. All right.
and a few other football players home from school, and he makes a comment about synagogues. Without even thinking, I mention I've been to one, and this is where it all started. This prompted one of the other guys to joke that I was a Jew, and I was trying to be chill. Since these were the only friends I had, I went, haha, yep, I'm Jewish. And that's when it all went downhill. Greg told everyone on the football team how his new friend from California was a Jew, and they all believed it. Since most of them thought there were only Jews in California anyways. What? And the football players spread that to the rest of the school. At this point, I thought it was a joke, and everyone was just jokingly calling me Jewish. So I just kept going with it. Then I became known as the Jewish kid, and I started to actually become popular, since everyone wanted to be friends with a different kid. And the fact that my dad had money a lot compared to the poor area I went to school, so I could afford to buy nice things, and people tend to be attracted towards that. And so being Jewish almost became my identity. It became who I was. So whenever someone would ask my religion, I would just tell them I was Jewish. Fast forward to the end of high school, and the counselors are walking people through scholarships. My counselor called me into the office and handed me a sample of a $5,000 Jewish American scholarship. What? What about the parents? Okay, no, now we're going into like fraud. Okay, because you would not have gotten that scholarship if you were Jewish. Now, as soon as I read Jewish American scholarship, I was going to roll it and throw it out. But he made me sit down and fill it out with him. And then he took it from me to submit it. I felt horrible for even doing it. But somewhat horrible when I heard they only gave it to people who were also ethnically Jewish. So I knew I wouldn't get it. I got it. Hold on, no. They just give it to you? How do you prove that?
Do your parents say, like, honey, why did you get this scholarship? I told them I'm Jewish.
I received a letter in the mail saying I was chosen as the winner of this $5,000 scholarship. I got accepted for the fact that I worked my butt off in high school and was the valedictorian, though my competition wasn't plentiful to say the least. But I never thought I would make it to the scholarship was huge for that. It's definitely fraud.
This needs to be a movie.
It's definitely fraud. It would be a really funny movie, I'm not gonna lie. But I considered spilling everything then, declining the scholarship, telling everyone at school, telling almost every single form I've filled out, saying I'm not actually Jewish. I decided to tell my dad and ask him for advice. He's always been a guy you can talk to about anything whatsoever. So I tell him everything. I tell him about the joke, then the lie, then everything. And now the scholarship, which I hadn't told any of my family about because one, I never thought I'd get it. And two, they questioned why a very not Jewish person is getting a Jewish American scholarship. So as soon as I told my father, he looked at me dead in the eyes with a serious, disappointed face. And then he burst into tears laughing.
It is very funny. If you think about it, like, how silly it is, like, you're in high school and you do this thing, like, it is very silly.
It is.
Because you know this kid's whole identity is revolved around him being a Jewish person. Right? And, like, being an adult...
But there's no other Jews that go to his school that, like...
I know, but just, like, understanding the context of, like, when you're in high school, everything is like your dad.
Yeah.
But then, like, when you're older in life, you're like, this is dumb, tell them. This kid's like, I'm gonna be ruined.
The way my father reacted, it must have been the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life. And he told me he'd gotten a letter in the mail asking if I was ethnically Jewish for a scholarship I'd entered. And being the person he is, he saw the chance for college money and went, yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
I feel like I should be a lot harder than that. Just get free money from the government. But anyway, tuition in the States is crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up 1 second. Okay, Dartmouth tuition this year. Guess how much?
I don't know, $200,000.
It is $69,000, roughly. Very, very funny.
That is very funny. I would have thought that my mom would not have done this. Of course, she cannot lie to save her life.
Asshole.
Okay, so my dad convinced me to keep the money and go to my dream college, and I did. As soon as I arrived at university, I was met with some people who We set up in the synagogue, and everyone there, I later learned two of the people there would be my professors who were very Jewish. And finally, they told me they set me up with the whole birthright thing,
Oh my God, you got a free trip to Israel?
where they fly American Jews out to Israel. I was so shocked. I was at my dream school, plus I was being hit with all of this. It was too much. I thought about coming clean a lot of times, but I feel like all the people around me would suddenly feel betrayed and leave me. Yeah. I became good friends with a lot of people in these Jewish clubs. I bonded with my teachers a lot better since they believed I was Jewish. Met the most beautiful Jewish girl who I met through her mother when she came up to me in a cafe and asked if I was Jewish.
All right,
since
well,
I was
the buyer's
with
got the
local
product,
rabbi.
and
I
you
said
got the
yes.
profits.
She told me I'd love her daughter. We went on a date and I instantly hit it off. And I got a free trip to Israel. All the while, I was feeling severe depression because I felt horrible every single day, in addition to the already enormous amounts of stress university put on me. I became so close so many times I could throw myself off a bridge or tall building, but I could never bring myself to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, it's brutal. I managed to get all the way through 11 years of college to get my doctorate, got a job at a history museum back on the West Coast, married that Jewish girl, had a Jewish wedding with her entire family, and my two parents. My dad had spilled beans to my mom about 2 days after I told him. She also found it equally as funny. And we've had 3 little Jewish babies. The museum put me in charge of organizing and creating a huge Holocaust and Jewish American history exhibit, even though that's not my specific field, even in the slightest. And in a few months, when the current curator retires at the age of 96, I will hopefully be taking his place.
This is like kind of the funniest way into Judaism.
I'm confused as to how nobody checked you.
Get out of here!
Well, yeah,
What the
like,
fuck?
but also, like, why is it that nobody, there wasn't a moment where, you know, like, L'chaim or something, you know, like he asked people to, like, leave them before, and he never did. I find that crazy. Yeah, you know, what is L'chaim?
L'chaim is cheers, right?
Cheers, yeah, okay. So, like, was there no moment in which he was, like, summoned to read from the
Any photos? No.
This is bizarre. Okay.
Honestly, it's so absurd that this could be like a
retreat.
It really could be.
I'm glad you didn't harm yourself in any way, because obviously this became probably like an overwhelming problem.
My life has turned out great, but deep down it will always haunt me that my entire life is built on a lie. My kids' lives, my life, my wife's life all came from a joke in a car 20 years ago. I was never going to tell a soul this, but today my oldest son, he's 9, told me that he doesn't think he believes in God, and I told him I agree. It was the first time in 20 years I told him the truth about my religion and didn't lie. My son wants to tell his mom that he doesn't want to continue being Jewish, and I might use this as my way of getting out as well. I told him we'd tell her tomorrow at dinner, and he seems almost as excited as I am, but equally as nervous. Wish her luck. I'm still unsure if I should tell her the whole truth or if I should just leave it with that. I no longer want to be Jewish. This is stressing me out, honestly. This is the thing.
We got a man down.
I think that it just snowballs if you think it's just like, okay, it's just a little white lie, but then you have to keep lying in order to maintain that lie. And before you know it, your whole life revolves around your lie.
And I hope you tell your wife, bro, because
I know. Okay, so you can't lie. I think you either keep up the lie and continue. Obviously, it would be nice for you, but this is a big, big lie.
I don't really have a solution to this, because obviously it'd be easy for us to say, just tell them what you did.
Yeah, totally.
But like your whole life is wrapped up. It's not that simple. You gotta tell your wife.
Yeah, I think you should. I think at the very least, telling your wife is important.
What about your parents, bro? Like, why are they just like standing back, being like, "Come on"?
They're just, that's so amusing. I think at the very least, you should tell your wife. I highly doubt that that's the only reason that your wife is with you.
But I feel like it might take some time for you.
Honestly, it depends on how serious she takes it, because I feel like this is a very big betrayal, and like she would probably divorce him.
His whole job revolves around the Holocaust.
Yeah. But like he also can't come clean though too, because like if people know that he lied, he accepted money for a scholarship, and what if like someone that gave him that scholarship finds out that he lied and like he goes to jail?
I think he's in moral jail already.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd go to jail.
He very well could. He could get like fraud. That's fraud. That's literally like accepting money for like, you know, Ronald McDonald House, and like you don't have any sort of like terminal illness.
One way to make it right is make a big donation to that scholarship for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do something for the community. You're gonna have to tell your kids.
Yeah.
And like talk, man, your parents.
Hey buddy, how you doing?
background here. Like, tell your
They
wife.
should have, honestly, your dad should have said something at the beginning. Like, your dad
Ah!
should have literally been like, honestly, it's time to come clean.
Or like, yeah, don't go to Israel and birthright. This is getting a little too crazy. Stop doing it.
I know, he just keeps accepting the perks.
Or as you grow up, go to different situations, they get more complex. Like in high school in a small town, it's like, yeah, I was the one Jew.
It should have stopped with the scholarship, honestly.
But then like going to Dartmouth, being immersed in the whole community, and then going to birthright, and like meeting a girl who's Jewish, and then like getting into like working at a museum, taking over someone who's retiring at 95 at the end of the month. Hopefully I get the job. Stop working there, bro.
Stop lying.
One thing you can do is actually confront.
He doesn't want to confront. He doesn't believe in God.
So then that's the two options.
I don't know. Like, yeah, genuinely, I'm so glad that this is not my problem because you should have taken this to break.
And I'm proud of it.
Confession. This confession could ruin an entire friend group.
All right, let's get to it.
Please do not mention my name. I have a weird thing for married men.
I don't like it.
Doing it. Doing it.
Apparently, she did it too.
I don't know why it is, but I'm just not attracted to single men. He can be the kindest, hottest, most amazing human being in the world, and it wouldn't matter. But put a ring on a bald man's finger, and he looks like Ryan Reynolds to me. Okay. Oh my God, sorry.
Sorry, what did you say? You said a sneeze?
Yeah, I was sorry. I just have something in my throat. I do go to bars and bring married men back to my apartment. There's something about it. I'm pretty sure she probably finds it very thrilling, you know? Like,
Thrilling. It's not her problem. It's something she can't get. It's an ego thing.
yeah, it's like people want what they can't have, right? You know, like play hard to get. You don't have to get someone that's actually off limits.
Oh my God, she's a complete
So that's not what I'm worried about.
Let me up for a
Lately,
sec.
I've been getting with
I need
every
something
one
to
of
drink.
my best friends' husbands.
Oh my God, man. What is this? This is dark.
This is messed up,
This is
girl.
dark, people.
This is cray cray. I just don't understand what like the point of like sharing one of these is. Like you're gonna read the comments. People are gonna tell you you're a piece of
They probably feel like a piece of shit and they need to tell someone, but they can't tell any one of their friends because it probably involves all their friends. So they're posting online.
Bro, I don't really see how people would be like motivated to share stuff after like watching this video.
I don't know.
We thought about maybe setting up our own little like confession box, but like I don't know if people would want to confess things and then have us just call them a piece of shit, honestly.
But honestly, why don't we just do it? And then if you put it in there.
We could to see if anybody says anything. I just think it's like I think it's a little different than an am I the a-hole because it's not as bad. Like this is bad. Lately I've been getting with every one of my best friends' husbands. Sometimes at the same time.
Jesus.
Kill two birds with one stone, I guess. I don't want to say how many are in our friend group because I don't want to raise too much suspicion. We all unsend our messages. I'll also be unsending this message here to avoid any issues. I really do love my best friends and this breaks my heart. I don't even care for their husbands. You're a sociopath, my guy. My gal.
This is so weird.
I literally have no words because like why are you sharing this? Like, do you want people to tell you that it's like okay? Because it's not.
I think she's looking for that.
But it's not, though. Like, she knows that it's not.
You look really good.
Thank you.
You look very beautiful.
Thank you so much. I try new makeup routine.
Don't ever go after married men. Okay? You have a married man.
What about my married man?
You can have this married man. Do I look like Ryan Reynolds?
This is really dark, and like honestly, some of these are like you should have taken this to the grave, but honestly, you shouldn't have.
Hey, that's a nice set of wheels. Deliberating whether or not this is okay or not.
Yeah. Let's unpack this for just a second. They say that you should always blame the person that cheated. Let's say your husband cheats on you with someone, and you're more mad at the woman than you are at your husband. Most of the time, I would say that that's not okay. I think that you should always be angry at your husband, like be angry at your boyfriend, more than the woman he cheated with. That woman doesn't owe you anything, like obviously.
You break
but I
too
think
quick
it's a
with these
tendency
guys,
for
you'll go over
people
your
to get
handlebars.
mad at the person that they cheated with. In this instance, though, you have someone
You'll be burning
enjoys
blacktop
them
with these
and
things.
specifically goes after the married men. I think in this case, though, I think you could be equally mad at both.
She's a serial cheater. Like, she's like a serial.
Now she
She's
looks
going
pretty.
after a
But
type.
not
No,
in
this
like
is
girly.
sociopath behavior, though. Like this is crazy.
Wow,
She probably
she looks
enjoys the
good.
idea of like collecting.
Not that she didn't
She
already.
will never be happy because she's gonna be chasing something.
That's never gonna be hers. This is the thing, is like she probably thinks that she's like collecting them like Pokemon. None of these men are ever gonna be interested in her. Like they're gonna see it, especially because they like it seems like they know that she does this with all of them. She says that she's done this like at the same time with multiple husbands.
It's really dark.
You're not gonna get a relationship out of this. I fail to understand why you're doing it, if not to get some sort of thrill out of collecting things that are not yours.
It's very like serial killer vibes.
Yeah, this is like, I'm like afraid. I wouldn't like want my kids around you. I'm just saying, you kind of freak out. Isn't it interesting to kind of hear from the people that cheat? Like, I guarantee you this is not how everyone like this thinks. But it's interesting when you meet someone who goes after other men. Like, what is it about that that's so attractive?
It's a moment you can't have.
I think this is why people who, they get more mad at the girl than the guy that cheats. I think that this is what they're like in our heads.
They're both still like very.
We're both awful. No, I'm saying equally mad.
People who just like make it right and destroy marriages. There's a very special place.
Maybe she has no intention on the marriage ever being destroyed. Maybe she just enjoys the reason why she's totally fine with it, I think, is because she's never had to deal with any consequences. This is why there has to be consequences. Because otherwise they'll just keep doing it.
You know what's funny? It's like when she gets caught, she's gonna lose all of her friends.
All of her friends.
And she's gonna have to live her life. Or just be like, okay, that's just who I am. That's my identity. It's what I like. It's my kink. It's whatever.
Like, I feel like this kind of shit needs to go jail for. Like, this is crazy.
And she's probably, assuming she's pretty attractive, she's probably really good at it.
I mean, I'm guessing she's attractive.
She must know what to do. We need to light it up here.
When I was 9, I used to take cold showers with the lights turned down, pretending I was a rhino in the rain. This is very specific.
That's the whole story?
That's it. It's literally just, that's the title and there's nothing else.
No guy or girl thing?
No, it doesn't say anything. It literally just says, when I was 9, I used to take cold showers with the lights turned down, pretending I was a rhino.
Where you from, mister? Why rhino? Like, I was thinking like if it was a guy and he was like,
why do the lights have to be on to get that?
Sometimes in the dark, things a bit more clearly. Sometimes we have things. Sometimes I rub myself in Brazilian jelly and pretend like I'm a shark. And lay in the dark.
That's nice, babe.
What would you do if you saw me in the summer out in the garden, covered in dirt, pretending I was a carrot? Just like, shit.
You know what? I would assume that you were filming a sketch.
Maybe I was. Maybe I wasn't. You wouldn't try and dip me in hummus and eat me? That's how you say it, by the way. Hummus.
You gotta stop.
You give something stuff here, dairy.
Rhino in the rain, everybody. Thank you for sharing.
I'm rhino in the rain.
Rhino in the rain.
Buddy, stop. That guy tried to get me.
So I'm catfishing his wife. Oh my god. Wait.
Oh no.
Wait. Okay, so but like, what did your boss do though? I'm very curious.
Made me work on Christmas Eve? I mean, that's okay. Christmas Day would be bad.
Christmas Day would be bad.
I've been asked to work on Christmas Day before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you get time and a half?
Yeah, but it was like, it was kind of cool. I worked for the Toronto Raptors, and it was like, we had a Christmas Day game, and I was just like, nah, Christmas is Christmas.
I can't imagine you doing that.
It would have been really cool. Like in the NBA, if you get a Christmas Day game, it's like the ultimate. It was the year after it was the year they won, or the year after they won?
My boss is generally a. I noticed his wife, who also works at the company, came up as a recommended friend personally and in spotless condition. I just love hearing him smile, you know? Well, at least she wasn't on a date. After a few messages and a few dates,
freaking way!
and sent some damn good revealing pictures.
Yo.
I feel a bit guilty now, but damn, she's hot.
Yo.
That's kind of messed up, but also, I feel like the wife is a little more at fault here than the guy confessing this. Because, like, what do you mean? Someone random added you to Snapchat and sent you a couple pictures, and now you're sending, like, nasty photos of yourself?
How did you find her? Did he say how he found her?
He said, okay, so, like, I think on Snapchat, like, he probably has her number, so it was recommended as a friend or something.
Oh, I see. I don't have Snapchat.
She came up as a recommended friend on Snapchat. That's what it says. I don't know if feel like that's way worse for her than it is for you because, like, I don't know why. Tell me why it was that easy.
It's funny how you went to
Was your rifle for a lockbox? The owner should have dropped the car keys in there for you.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even think that what you did was all that bad. This is where we blame the person that cheated because what do you mean someone sent you a couple snap photos and now all of a sudden you're like, what if she's catfishing him? Watch this.
Wait.
Is his face in it?
That would be so funny. It was the boss.
Oh my god.
And it was actually a catfish.
The catfish was catfishing the catfish. So some people in the comments also clocked this, saying if she's that quick to send you those pics, guaranteed she's sending dirtier ones to other dudes. OP said that's quite possible, or you're actually chatting with your boss. Just saying. I'm just saying. I didn't say much, but I'm just saying.
It's the boss going after.
No, I think that people are just clocking. Like, I find it crazy. She's either like way too easy to cheat, or it's not actually. Is this a flashback? Sending photos that he got from his wife. No, but would he even do that?
How would he do that?
He wouldn't do that. No, it's her. It's.
Unless she did cheat on him and he wanted to pay back. No, like, well, what's the logic? I don't
No. Yeah, everybody in the comments is just like, dude, don't do that. I understand you have like a newfound power here, but like, what do you plan to do with this? Like, want to blackmail him? This is just like a fun little secret you have.
The question is, would you tell the boss?
I feel like that's the only honorable thing to do here. But then how does he tell the boss without saying that he was sending his wife pictures of himself?
Yeah, and also in those situations, I don't think it's your place to tell, right?
Yeah, I would say far away from this. Block this.
I would just like at your next meeting, kind of just go like as you stare at your boss, just kind of smile at him. Like, what are you smiling at? Be like, nothing.
Yeah, not wife. Anyways, moving on. I got mad at my girlfriend today and opened the MacBook Air I had wrapped under the tree and rewrapped it and addressed it to my son.
The petty scale from 0 to petty, that is like a petty times 10.
Wow. What happens if you guys like make up though?
Hey, Timmy, give me back that MacBook Air. That's not for you.
Well, he can't now, but it's like, I feel like a fight is a fight, but you guys are gonna like work it out. Can you imagine? I have a habit of getting mad at Mike when he's about to give me a really nice gift.
Honestly, it happens like clockwork. Before I proposed to you, you're like, you're distant, you're being weird, you want some attention. Meanwhile, I'm working on this video that I'm making this grand gesture that I rent a movie theater for you. Other stuff too, like what else?
You know what it also happened? It also happened on Valentine's Day a couple of years ago. I got really mad at you. I don't even remember what it was about. See, this is the thing, is like we get mad for stupid shit. We don't remember what it's for. And then meanwhile, he was planning this like romantic getaway to New York. Took me to our favorite restaurant.
That I booked a month.
That he booked a month prior. And I even remember saying in the group chat, you're all getting mad at your boyfriends because they might just have booked a very lovely trip for you on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and what have you done for me? I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was rage bait.
I am baited. My rage has been baited. Girlfriend and I got into an argument over our kids' Christmas spending budget. We both have a kid in a previous relationship, her daughter and my son. We have agreed on a budget of $1,000 for each kid. We have met that budget for both kids last week. Today, she tells me she wants to get her daughter a phone and wants to buy her an iPhone XS Max, easily putting her daughter close to $1,200 over our phone. So now your son is going to see that the daughter got more than he did. We have shared bank accounts, so it's not quite that it's her daughter and her money, so what's the deal kind of thing. Oh, okay, noted. We argued for 3 days over the issue. We couldn't afford to spend another $1,200 on my son to even out the budgets again at a ludicrous $2,200 each. Sorry. My son would never know if we spent extra money on her, but that's not the point. It's unfair, and in my opinion, it's favoritism. I totally agree with that. She's spending your joint money on her own child. Let me just also say that $1,000 per kid is a lot of money. I was actually shocked to read that. That is a lot to spend on a kid for Christmas. Like, I don't spend that much even like on my parents every Christmas.
Probably in total. I mean, I have a family, we just do a Secret Santa, and the limit's like $100.
Yeah. No, and like otherwise it gets like out of control though.
I think with kids, I don't know like how much toys are. I'm sure
they're buying like electronics, it seems like an iPhone XS.
I guess like when the kids get to a certain age, it's like you gotta buy them a phone and a laptop, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Honestly, I dad got me like a really expensive camera, like a big gift for like a big thing. It's not just like at Christmas or whatever, because then you set the precedence. I don't think I ever had that growing up.
Hey, my mother was generous, but I also...
Yeah, fair enough. After another very heated argument over the issue, I walked over to the tree, grabbed her present, opened it in front of her.
Okay, that's really aggressive.
Oh, whoa. Then rewrapped it and addressed it to my son. Now the budgets are mostly equal again, give or take $100. Merry Christmas. Dude.
See why you're voting for worse.
This is really petty.
This is like, come on, man.
I thought you did it sneakily. You did it in front of her?
I would have been okay with it if you did it sneakily, but like in her face, bro. Come on. I don't know if that helps anybody.
I'm blown away. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not together. P.S. The MacBook was purchased on my personal credit card. Was that
He was a gift because they have a joint bank account, so it comes out of his own money as opposed to their.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it.
It's not about that. It's more about like you rubbing it in your face.
Yeah, that was bad. Like, I know we're not playing Am I the A-hole now, but like, you're kind of an a-hole. Major a-hole. You had the upper hand. I wish you had done it secretly.
Seems like you has to tell you whether you should take it to the grave because you were caught.
You were caught, yeah.
You did it. It's pretty bad though, bro.
Yeah.
If you did it sneakily, I would have been like, good on you. But I think she would have found out anyways because on Christmas Day, when they opened up their gifts, he would have gotten a brand new MacBook Air and she would have been like, what? Where was that in the budget? He would have had to tell her. So either way, she would have found out. You could have done it in a less petty way, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been on your side if you had, not that we were picking sides, but like, I wouldn't have even felt that it was that bad and kind of justified if you had done it without her knowing. Everybody in the comments is also pointing out $1,000 is insane. I completely
You know,
agree.
I told
That
him,
is a
hands-on
lot
really
of
does offer the best service in town. And here's the proof.
But I mean, yeah, I guess if you're on Reddit, different people have different values, have different budgets, have different salaries. You know, everyone has their own normal. So
Maybe they're just really wealthy. I don't know. That is great. It was 7 years ago.
Update, we're divorced.
They haven't posted anything since about the relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if they broke up though. Apparently, I've been wrong.
Wait, you're not supposed to do a handstand and keep your legs at full post?
Wait, what?
I'm very curious that you chose to go be male or female.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Okay. Recently, I attended a wedding. I was complaining to a couple of buddies of mine that were there that I always hate dressing up in suits because taking a leak is always a pain in the ass, having to undo everything and then redo it all back up. What is happening? They all looked at me confused and asked me what I meant and asked me to describe my process. I've been completely undoing my pants when taking a belt, button, untucked shirt, the whole 9 yards. I've done it this way for 26 years.
So like,
So he pulls his pants all the way down?
lay around, you heard me? There's always kids at urinals who do that. They're just like at the kids one and they pull their pants down to their ankles and you see the little baby butt. No, you just pull up the thing.
You just open the fly, you know?
I have a friend in P sitting down. He's just like, yeah, it's just like sometimes I'm tired and I just would rather sit down.
Honestly, I don't mind that because it also means that they're like leaving the toilet seat down. But like, to be fair though, I wouldn't want to be sitting down in a men's bathroom.
Of course, there's no debate about like whether or not he should be sitting down. He just pulls his pants down all the way. Like, what does he do at public urinals?
That's a good point. Maybe he just goes in the toilet. Like actually goes
I don't
to, like,
buy this though,
pretends
bro.
to take a shit or something.
I don't buy this. Like, how old is this guy? He's probably in his 20s, maybe?
26.
26? He hasn't gone to any live event with a massive bathroom where he sees a bunch of guys peeing and was like,
I was like, oh, I'm gonna do what they do.
it's weird how they're not doing what I do. Why am I?
And like, I highly doubt that nobody's joking about it until now.
Bro, yeah, like, can you imagine like being with a bunch of your buddies and getting really drunk and then like going to pee outside and then like someone was like, why are your pants doing? Idiot.
Dude, they would for sure point that out.
I'd roast you for sure.
Okay, so they all laughed at me and said you're supposed to just unzip your zipper, fish it out through the zipper, and clean out. I've never done it this way. It hadn't even occurred to me that that's what the flap in underwear is for. Do all men pee this way? Does anyone else just undo everything like me? I feel so silly. I mean, listen, like we said, be
Sitting down.
Sitting down. I think I've seen that photo.
There's many. I guess there's no right way to eat, but I don't buy the fact that you didn't pick up on this in your first place.
I am so surprised no one's made fun of me now.
Or just like you would have gone into a bathroom and said,
They're not
why is
doing
it
that.
not showing?
Okay, hold on. So there's more context. No, my pants aren't at my ankles when I go. Okay, so you literally just like undo it.
That's like kind of what a lot of people do.
Yeah, I don't think that that's really that big of a deal. I feel like it also prevents you from getting anything on your like nice suit, right? Wouldn't it?
There's no wrong way. They're both right.
Yeah.
I've done both. I've done both. Sometimes like when you're wearing like a suit and like or like with a bunch of buttons and stuff, you gotta fish it out of the zipper. And sometimes when you're wearing shorts, you just pull them down. You know,
Oh, damn it. It looked like that dot was like right there. It is kind of right there.
No, I wasn't that kid in elementary school. My pants don't immediately fall to my ankles after undoing everything. I don't have to hold them up. If this happens to you, you have a really flat bum or are wearing the wrong pants. Don't you see how other people were doing it and realize you were doing something wrong? You're looking at other people when you're in a bathroom. You're mad weird for that. I'm focused on me and I don't pay attention to anyone else. I also rarely use public restrooms at all. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Because, like, what guy would go up to another guy in a bathroom and, like, point out that they're, like, peeing weird?
Like, I don't look at other guys peeing, but I've heard many times, like, I'm, like, next to a bunch of guys, your belt buckle is opening. Like, it's 50-50. I thought this guy pulled it down to his ankles. This is
Yeah. No, I really think
you're not peeing wrong. You're peeing wrong.
I don't think this is that big of a deal. Your friends are mean.
Your friends are gaslighting. You're weird. It's like, no, you're normal. I thought you were going to say, like, I pee upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, people in the comments are actually saying that more sanitary than what.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I do that.
Everyone's like, don't let these pee-covered psychos tell you what is normal. Okay.
Your friends are taking it.
Okay.
Don't need to take that one.
You don't need to take that one. Maybe we should have some sort of rating system. We'll figure that out. This is our first time doing this video, guys. It might develop into something else. We're trying something new. But yeah, some of these are not that bad. Some of these are like, yeah, I've done worse.
And if you don't like this format, just take that to your grave. Don't
Just
tell
take
us.
it to
Jesus
we don't need to know. When my manager has me buy one shit for him, I buy another one for myself with the same numbers. Okay. Wait. Hang on a second. If you both have the same numbers, then it wins.
Split it.
Okay. I'm gonna need to learn what.
If it's with his money, that's both mine.
So in the event that you actually
Your girl was fucked up last night.
Yeah, that's how it works.
He's gonna be so mad if he finds out. The chances of him finding out and like it actually happening though is so slim.
Well, no, I mean, if you want to.
If he won, he'd find out, but the chances of like them actually winning is so slim. Okay, so there's not much else to this confession. It just says I hate him so much. The thought of him winning the lottery and having to split it with me makes me so happy.
That is so petty.
You and me!
That would actually be funnier.
Yeah, that would
Get 3 of them.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a load of shit.
Whatever, and then that way you guys get 30 or 66, and he gets 33.333.
Okay, but the chances of him actually winning are so slim.
But in the event that it actually happens, how funny?
It would be funny, but like, is there a way that that could blow back on him? Like he used his boss's money to buy a lottery ticket?
He didn't say that he used his boss's money.
He didn't actually. That's a good point.
I gotta take it all the way out of town.
The fact that his boss makes him buy him lottery tickets is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Is he an assistant or something?
But if he has an assistant, is he the kind of guy that's going to want to buy lottery tickets?
So there's actually people who say I actually buy the same lottery ticket every time so that I don't have to split it 50-50 with anyone. Because like in the event that 2 people pick the same one, then you have to split it 50-50. But if you had 2 tickets with the same numbers and then the other person only had 1, then you could split it 2/3 to 1/3, I guess. I don't think I've ever played the lottery.
My dad gets me a lottery ticket for Christmas.
Yeah, he does.
I haven't won.
Imagine you win one time.
I totally buy him. He's like, if you ever win, all I want is one thing. I want to cruise around the world.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm like, done. I don't have to go to your apartment and watch you eat for years. He has implants because of dental issues, but using them the size of his teeth still, it's been a couple of years, so when he chews, it's like, and he doesn't know, he can't feel it, and I'm just like,
Okay, people in the comments say, this is the most brilliant and legal form of potential games over I've ever heard of. Both of you won wheels are turning a little bit. Like, how can I use this to my advantage? I don't know if we've been with each other long enough for me to understand like what you do. Like,
what do you mean?
I don't think that you have those same quirks, honestly. Like, if I were to do the same thing to you, you don't do either of these things. So.
What, in the morning? I told you what we do every morning.
I'm using this as inspo to manipulate my husband.
I know how to. You're pretty easy.
Oh, okay. So you're admitting.
Oh, goddamn car.
No, I'm kidding. You're hard to manipulate.
That's true. I am.
You look pretty.
You look pretty.
God.
And I have $50.
No, I'm like,
Damn.
It's just complimenting. It's not a cheat code. I just like to do it because it makes you happy.
You know what? I think it's totally fine to have a cheat code for your expense. I think it's totally fine.
Your words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason. And then I go like, you're slim or gorgeous in that outfit. And you're like, wait, I mean, I look good? And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, really? Thank you. I'm like, is that easy?
But you're not going to get anything out of it.
No, I just like to see you happy. What about the good morning?
No, I mean, like, I'm like, oh, yes. Okay, so here's how I get my happy. If I start the day, and Murphy loves this too, but if I start the day by
It just like makes me happy because I have to know, because I don't like talking about it. When you're upset, I get upset, right? So when she comes down, it's basically her saying, we're good, life is going to be great today, you're going to be okay. And I hear that and I'm like, let's go, it's going to be a great day today. Let's have our coffee. Murphy just kind of like puts a shoe in his mouth. He's like,
I'm curious to know if you guys have any cheat codes that you want to share with us.
it's not a cheat code, it's just like you know what your partner likes and you do those things.
Yeah, but I don't think that we're doing any of those things to get anything out of each other. I just like to see you happy and you like to see me happy.
Like I put water next to your bed every night for the most part.
Here's an interesting, back to the story. What if the husband is also cheat coding her?
Yeah, exactly. He's incepting you.
So he's not getting up and doing anything because you're not giving him the giggity goo. But when you do give him the giggity goo, then he's getting up and doing all the things you want.
It's true. Maybe he actually got you, girl. Just like Murphy when he puts his chin on the table. They gave him a snacky once and goes back for more every night.
Literally. I think he's manipulating her. Literally. I actually
agree.
Yeah, it's actually very funny.
See, buddy, you're a genius.
It's very funny.
I'm just gonna stay in bed now in the mornings.
Everyone's like, you aren't fooling anyone. He knows. Very funny.
Sure, you want to go shopping? I can't because I'm just too tired.
You want to like come meet me in the bedroom in about 5 minutes?
Sure. Yeah, why? I might take a nap.
And then we can revisit this shopping conversation.
I'm open to it.
All right, guys, that was Take It to the Grave. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did, subscribe!
I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. But that's alright, I can... There's a... this way, I think? Not yet. There's a turn up here. Whoa! I looked away for a second! Whoa! That guy came out of nowhere. This truck handles pretty nice. Nice Dukes of Hazzard feel. Kind of halfway want to keep this truck. Oh, no! I didn't think I was going to make it. Got my motorcycle, I'm gone. Oh! Ah! If I wouldn't have took my time getting up, I would have got out of that. Oh, look at this. They left me a piece of crap.
To uninvite the person who paid for part of her bachelorette.
I'm sorry about that.
So, some clarification. I'm not a bride.
Whatever.
And was not part of the bridal party at all. I was invited as a regular guest 2 days before the RSVP deadline. Okay, so you were part of the meetings. I can't make it any more clear that this friendship was but just had a lot of history. Example, she didn't know basic things about me, like what I studied. God damn it! Yeah, girl, she just invited you because she probably had someone who didn't know. I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened. Because what do you do? You're inviting someone very low to your bathroom.
Holy shit.
The dynamic
One
was
good
more
place
that
shot,
she'd
man,
often
I
venture
guess,
to me
huh?
about various topics, and
That's all it
most of our
takes.
meetings were just to catch up. That should show you that we were not close or best friends. I guess I was asking
Probably
you
should
all
have had
to
a
do some
heavier machine
activities and
gun.
participate in the bachelorette planning because we've known
Probably
each other
where I
for a
went
long
wrong.
time. I didn't think it was unusual to participate in the planning process. So, I have a friend who I've known for more than 15 years who is getting married. I'm sorry, you've known this person for 15 years and she didn't even know what you studied? We aren't best friends, but we have a lot of history. Her engagement lasted 2 years and she got engaged twice to the same man because the first proposal was not what she had hoped for. You smell that? I heavily advised her boyfriend back then to get another ring and plan another proposal after he voluntarily told me about his plans and asked for advice, but he wouldn't listen. I tried really hard for multiple days, but he insisted. She constantly complained about him and the proposal for 1 year, and after her second engagement to him, she shifted gears and was suddenly obsessed with him. Okay. Everyone had to pretend that their first engagement hadn't happened. Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, that would be a topic of jokes that come up at the wedding. I'm not gonna lie. Over the years, she had complained about her boyfriend slash fiance so many times to me and had many doubts, but she never left and was suddenly acting like he's the love of her life. It is very awkward when that happens because it's like, this was a really bad relationship, and it's kind of hard to be happy when the engagement and wedding actually happens because it's like, you're not just complaining to me about how awful he is, and I'm not supposed to be like protective of you. It's time to thank the sponsor of this video, Grow Therapy. Mental health is a bit of a recurring theme on this channel, which is why Grow Therapy is such a perfect partner for me. Whether you're dealing with wedding drama, relationship problems, or family chaos, therapy is something that I will always get behind. And as much as I love being your therapist, I will always recommend an actual therapist. Grow Therapy makes access to therapy so much easier and affordable, and they work with insurance. Grow Therapy works with over 125 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average at around $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. If you're struggling to find the time, and believe me, I get it, but you can book an appointment with Grow Therapy in as little as 2 days, even on nights and weekends. There's options for in-person sessions or virtual, which means you don't have to factor in travel time, and you can do your therapy in your pajamas. Highly recommend. You can choose from over 25,000 licensed therapists and thoroughly vetted providers. And if you decide that your provider isn't the right fit, which does happen, you can switch. You only pay per session, there's no subscription or hidden commitments. I know that therapy is a sensitive subject, and there's still, to this day, a stigma around it, which is why it's important to me to break that stigma and encourage you to get the help you need. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need someone to talk to. Thank you so much to Grow Therapy for sponsoring another one of my videos. To learn more about Grow Therapy, head to the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen for a quicker way to get support and find a therapist. Clarification, I was there for her and always listened, but it gets to a point when your friendship is not that close. Right at the time of her second proposal, I got chronically ill and had to cancel several appointments, one dress shopping and one fitting. But I always explained that. I made it to one dress shopping appointment, but not the second. Why were you invited to dress shopping appointments when you weren't in the bridal party? Like, you weren't in the bridal party, why was it demanded at those appointments in the first place? She always claimed that she knows and understands my symptoms, but she does not have a chronic illness, and I suspect she actually thinks I'm lying about them to make excuses. I haven't been able to work for almost a year now because of it. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. She never really checked in, asked about me, etc. Right, because you were her therapist, you weren't her friend. So I realized I don't need to go above and beyond with limited energy when she doesn't really care, but I tried my best. Fast forward to now, I co-planned and co-paid for her bachelorette, but I couldn't attend because of my illness. A couple of days after the bachelorette, she wrote me a message saying she can't cope with any uncertainty around her wedding, and and that she felt like I didn't make enough effort. And she decided I will not be a part of her day because of it, which is a final decision. Why are we putting these rules on people that like aren't even in the bridal party? Even if you were in the bridal party and you couldn't attend certain things because you had an illness, why is this all being expected of you? I really don't understand. She didn't say anything more specific. It actually sounded like a corporate termination email overall. She wished me well, but she needs clarity leading up to her wedding. I had RSVP'd in January. It is now May. Back in January, I received the Evite 2 days before the RSVP deadline. So maybe she never wanted to invite me, but then chickened out. Or she, like, totally forgot about you. I invited people at the last minute, but it was more like we had, like, budding friendships. My friend Lauren and I, she's a wonderful friend. Really, really like her. She's become one of my closest friends. She watches this channel, so hi, Lauren. Hello. But at the time, she didn't get the initial invite because, like, we weren't close yet. I really wanted to invite her, but it was like, okay, let's see how this, like, friendship goes. You know when you just, like, start a new friendship? It's kind of like a new relationship. It's like, are we friends? Like, I didn't know what was happening. Because I was just like, you know what? I can tell that you're going to be a part of my future, so I really love it. And she did end up coming, which was amazing. I really loved having her there. If you've known this person for an invite 2 days before the RSVP deadline, there's two things that could have happened. Well, actually,
Oi.
she had someone
I'm alright. I'm alright.
in her wedding that dropped out and you filled the spot. Or number 3, she had reservations about inviting you in the first place and it just like decided at the last minute that she wanted you there. So our last message before her uninviting me was her wishing me a happy birthday, so it really came out of the blue. I was mad and told her if she wants to uninvite me last minute and after not saying anything before that, she should pay for my part of the bachelorette cost. No, because like what the actual you're going to that bachelorette because you thought that like you wouldn't be going to a bachelorette for someone that you like aren't friends with. You went because you thought that you were friends and you were supporting her in her marriage. In addition to that, my partner had to take paid time off because she's getting married on a Friday and I had to buy a dress for her. I took a conversation after she ended up okay, you were a little petty, I have to say, but it kind of sounds like you're in a position where you're spending money frivolously, you're not working, you probably have medical bills and stuff like that, and I'm sure that you can't really afford to be spending hundreds of dollars, potentially thousands of dollars on someone's wedding, and then be uninvited at the last minute due to circumstances that are like beyond your control. The thing about weddings is people, sometimes they cancel at the last minute. We had like a couple of cancellations, not many. It was kind of, it is what it is, right? Are we not friends with these people anymore? Did we uninvite them because we were worried about the uncertainty? No, it just happened. And, you know, we had people at the tables and that was it. Like, it is what it is. I really don't understand this.
Oh, it's like, I don't know if you're gonna be there, so I can't, like, have any uncertainty. I really need to, like, know.
What are you talking about?
You're crazy.
Sounds like
Holy shit.
she might have some more cancellations. So you were a little bit petty.
Hell,
but
I hit.
To be honest, I totally get where you're coming from. I don't feel like you're the equal at all, and I wish more people did stuff like this. It's like everybody is contributing to the wedding in some way, whether you're taking paid time off, whether you're paying flights, hotels, dresses, and on the flip side too, when you're like a bride and groom, you're also paying for people as well. So when people don't show up at the last minute, you get uninvited. It's like, well, I spent money. Here's the bill, right?
Take off, man.
I didn't do that. I was a little salty, but you know, we're still friends. We'll make it. It is what it is. Some people pointed out in the comments you're not the able, but you're never getting your money back from your high maintenance impossible to please ex-friend. But at the same time, I feel really hurt in this regard, and she kind of ended the friendship anyway, so it's like, might as well ask. Some people are saying, like, take her to small claims, only if you don't see this friendship continuing. The friendship is over. The bride uninvited OP from her wedding. So, like, I feel like she was the one that set the tone there. I don't think this friendship is going to continue at all just based on that. I genuinely think that without going to small claims, you're probably never going to see that money, but it's a nice reminder, like, well,
God damn it.
and you don't value what I contribute as a friend, then you give me my money back. I'm surprised you wouldn't expect this kind of behavior from your friend, who is obviously very shallow and experiences-driven. I mean, the fact that she's only obsessed with her fiance after the second proposal, which I'm reading to be more elaborate and expensive, is already a pretty clear indicator of what kind of person she is. And also the fact that you've known her for 15 years, I find that so strange that you can be friends with someone for 15 years and still feel like we aren't friends. We're not best friends. I have to say as well, while I could understand planning a bachelorette party for your friend, I'm pretty stunned that you would pay for it if you weren't able to attend. That feels like a pretty big mistake on your part. OP responded to this and said, I wanted to show my support in a way that is feasible for me. I also see now that I shouldn't have done that, but it's always easier in retrospect. Just in defense of OP here, I had friends like come to my bachelorette and they still like put money toward like my bachelorette. Like they still like send me a bottle or something. They or whatever. I think it's normal if you're not attending a bachelorette, you can't go to at least show up in a different way. If one person sent flowers and then like a bottle of champagne or something, I feel like that's kind of cool. Also, you're right about the engagement. The first one was on a hike with friends with the ring he picked out. The second engagement was on a trip to Belgium with the exact ring she wanted. Yeah, I would feel some type of way if I were him. I don't necessarily see that this marriage is gonna last, to be honest. I'm gonna say not be able, but I don't think that you're gonna get that money back. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe. It's free! We got more Bridezillas coming right up. Am I saying to take on my engagement during a wedding? Let me get I'm meant to be attending the wedding of Tilly and Peter next month. They are friends of my fiance, and we've hung out plenty of times in the past 4 years. They got engaged around 18 months ago, and we got engaged 3 months ago. My engagement ring stone is a light blue sapphire. In photographs, however, it looks a lot darker, which is relevant. We met up with Tilly and Peter last weekend, which incidentally was the first time seeing them in person since we got engaged. When they asked to see the ring, Tilly noted it was much lighter than the photos that we shared. Peter agreed, and a little while after the conversation turned to something else. Tilly asked if he remembered that the bridesmaid's dress color was a very pale blue. My fiance is a groomsman, so knew this as he's wearing a matching tie. Peter said they were hoping that only the wedding party was going to wear that color. Wait, this is ridiculous. Which was included on the invite. It's a ring. It's not a dress. Oh, spare me. No. My aura ring says I am stressed. You're stressing me out. He said that having that ring shade was no excuse to be breaking the rules. Whoa, you got a groomzilla and a bridezilla over here. This was said humorously. Oh, okay. So my fiance and I both laughed, and I assured them that I most likely am going to be wearing something darker and not blue anyway. Tilly then said that Peter was talking around the issue and that I wouldn't be able to wear my engagement ring at their wedding because it was too close to their shade of blue. No.
Not that she didn't already.
No.
There's that
She said she'd already had to
power.
make sure a family member wasn't going to wear a necklace with similar gemstones for the same reason. That is stupid.
Just don't let it get you.
Gone from people not wearing white
Whatever.
to off-white to like butter yellow to the same colors as the bridesmaids, and now we're
She's a
policing
mean
people's
machine.
jewelry because they're a certain color. Dude,
That's
get
an
a
attractive
grip.
fight for a serious heart.
A discussion ensued as both my partner and I said that it seemed quite strong to be asking me to not wear my ring. Outside of sleeping and bathing, I've barely taken it off since the proposal. Are we sure that it's about the color and not about how like big it is? Tilly and Peter were insistent that I would be creating
Those
drama by
wheels were
wearing it.
missing piece.
And if anything, it suggested that I was trying to steal focus away from them and the wedding party. No. There is literally no world whatsoever in which wearing a ring that's your engagement ring that was given to you separate from their wedding. Let's unpack this for a second. Let's say you had a friend, let's say they had a ring already, they saw your ring, and then they got a bigger ring than you, a second ring, and wore it to your wedding. That's more like my focus or trying to one up you than wearing a ring that you literally have completely separate. There's probably meaning behind the stone. Maybe it's your birthstone. I don't know. Sapphire's my birthstone. This is like one of the most ridiculous bridezilla asks I've ever heard. I made it clear I had zero intention of doing that, but also that the ring was not going to retract from a bride and groom at the end of the aisle. At one point, my partner was even accused of proposing to me as a way of taking more attention from them during their wedding timeline. Oh, shut up.
The world does not revolve around you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going to this wedding. This friendship is done. We got engaged on our 7-year anniversary during the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime holiday, so I'm sure it was not just to detract from his friends getting married. We left it at a stalemate and anticipate that either just me or both of us will be de-invited. Being de-invited, I wouldn't go in the first place. This is so disrespectful and ridiculous, which is no issue to me at this stage. I do want to know if I'm the a-hole though, as especially for my fiance and Peter, they've been friends for over a decade and it would hurt him if he misses his friend getting married over something so trivial. Yeah, but they're making it not trivial. You never want to know.
I don't even have a vehicle.
Compares and can't see you win because they feel that it takes away from them winning. It's one thing to feel kind of resentful of your friend and never say anything and work on that. It is an entirely other thing to tell people to dull their shine because it makes you uncomfortable. I understand that Peter's been friends with the group for a long time, but this is pretty crazy to me. Kind of friendship ending already. Let's see what everybody else had to say. Goodness, I hope no one with blue eyes attended. Not the a-hole. Worrying about something as small as a ring is ridiculous. It really is. How are you worried about anything other? Like, you really do not have enough problems if this is what you're worrying about leading up to your wedding. I am jealous of the people who had literally no problems and created problems out of nowhere leading up to their wedding. Not the a-hole if a single ring was still the spotlight from the wedding party. They must have the personality and charisma of a bucket of plaster. If you're worried about people upstaging you, bring a little heat, babes. It's your wedding day. Like, come on now. Ridiculous. Not the a-hole. What is she going to do if the sky happens to be close to that particular shade of blue? Tell God to change it. No one is going to be looking at a guest's hands during a wedding. I totally agree with this. I could see someone looking at a guest's hands if they were wearing, like, an obscenely large fake diamond. Or real diamond, for that matter. Like, just obscene, you know, flashing it around. You're just existing. That's your engagement ring. You're gonna have it for the rest of your life, hopefully. You're not the a-hole.
It is decided.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to change my bridesmaid dress after already paying a deposit? Hold on. I'm supposed to be a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding. A while ago, I found a dress I really liked and sent it to the bride, saying that I thought I'd never won. She replied saying it was amazing and she loved it, so based on that, I went ahead and put a deposit down on it. Important context, the bridesmaids are paying for their own dresses. Now, after I've already paid the deposit, another bridesmaid has messaged our group chat saying the dresses are supposed to be satin or silk, and my dress doesn't match the vibe. So why didn't the bride say that when you asked her opinion? She said I could just get changed because it will ruin the aesthetic and the photos. The problem is that no one ever clearly told me the dresses had to be satin or silk. It might have been briefly mentioned once in conversation, but it definitely wasn't presented as a strict requirement. If it had been made clear, I obviously wouldn't have bought the dress I did. I'm also a bit annoyed because I checked with the bride
How the fuck do I get off this golf course?
and she said it looked nice. If there had been an issue, that would have been the moment to say something. She's also now saying that I didn't check with her and said I just bought it. That's when I would be sending screenshots of the conversation. Now I'm being asked to change the dress, even though I'm the one paying for it and I've already put money down. I don't feel like that's fair. That's because it's not. At this point, I'm considering stepping down from being a bridesmaid because the whole thing has turned into drama and I don't feel comfortable. Am I the a-hole for refusing to change the dress? No. They can all suck it. Like, what are you talking about? You checked with the bride, dude. People are saying show her the messages that she said. Yeah, I would literally be sending that in the group chat.
Fuck is the clubhouse? There it is.
Just to
Is that it?
settle the score here. It was on Snapchat.
God, I hope
oh,
so.
No, it was on Snapchat, so it disappeared for now, unfortunately, or else I would. Well, even then, the fact that she's gaslighting you and said that, like, this conversation never happened is crazy. Text the bride directly and ask her straight up. Tell her you're seeking clarification because you thought she okayed your dress, but if there's a miscommunication,
Oh,
you want to fix the
well,
problem.
I got $5 grand for it.
The chance to okay
Well,
your dress
4,400.
again, and do it through text so there's a record. Avoid Snap or anything you might need a paper trail on. I guess you could do that. I think having a conversation with the bride, it's possible that, like, she changed her mind. Maybe she didn't realize the dress was made out of material that she didn't like, and she okayed it. This type of behavior is so annoying. It just means that this person is taking the other bridesmaids. Like, they probably have a separate group chat conversation without you, babe. I'm just telling you. They have a group chat conversation, and they're like,
Yeah, I can't believe that she would go in my dress. Like, she was straight my dress. Yeah, I don't know why she wanted to do that.
that's really what's happening. Like, she's talking about you behind your back, and it is what it is. You can have a face-to-face conversation with her or just text her. I think texting would be better because then you have the proof. But yeah, I don't love this.
Ow!
Making problems that don't exist.
Fresh meat!
My vibe.
I want to hear the sound of you not speaking, my friend. Get over here to the freak shop. We got shit to discuss. Probably. We definitely got drugs, though. Just get over here.
Calm down and figure out how to handle things. I don't think we'll just have personal lives. After waiting for her reply to my last message, she finally got back to me. Okay, so OP did text her. In short, she said she actually has no problem with the dress at all and thinks it's beautiful. Why is she somehow, like, backing everybody else up, though? The color is the one that we agreed on, champagne, and she said from the start that as long as the dresses were that color, we could wear whatever we felt comfortable in. She said the situation seems to have come as a surprise to the other bridesmaids because they didn't realize I already paid a deposit for my dress. But she also said she can't speak for what's been said in their group chat. Well, then why isn't she defending you, though? Why is it that she said that the conversation never happened? She also told me she was really upset that I was considering stepping down because she'd always planned for me to be a bridesmaid since we were younger. Okay, we're gonna find out if she's kind of expecting you to be a bridesmaid and be there for
Ooh, I didn't even hit that guy.
why is she not backing you up? As for my daughter, she said she never told anyone she wasn't invited. Oh, I didn't realize that was part of the issue. She said she's still figuring out numbers and that she and her fiance already talked about not having children at the night reception, but the rest of the day was working out and she said she let me know as we discussed. I thanked her for explaining everything and told her I never wanted to cause any stress around her wedding. I honestly believed everything was fine when I showed her the dress before I paid the deposit. However, because of everything that's happened, I told her I feel it might be best if I step down as a bridesmaid as I don't want any tension around her big day. I also told her I love her and I hope she has the most amazing wedding day. Right, because although she's playing nice, she's still fully about you behind your back. She's not sticking up for you. She's gaslighting you. She's, you know, saying one thing and doing another. I don't love how she's behaving with all of this. She's kind of like placing blame on everybody else except herself. This is fully her fault. And even now, you know, she's like, oh, it's the bridesmaids. The bridesmaids felt something. No, babe, like, it's you. And if it was just the bridesmaids, then why didn't you tell them that, like, you told her the dress was okay? Oh, I hate this mean girl. Whatever. So where things stand now, at the moment, I'm still feeling really uncomfortable about the whole situation, and I don't see how me continuing as a bridesmaid would lead to a good outcome for anyone after all the drama. I'm not someone who likes conflict, and I didn't appreciate being spoken to in such an aggressive tone by the other bridesmaid. It also leaves me in a difficult position because I've heard completely different versions of events. Either the bridesmaid has massively misrepresented things to me, or the bride is now saying something different. It's the bride. Telling you right now. Just judging by how she's not taking responsibility in the group chat and now she's still like, oh, it's them, I didn't say anything, I'm totally fine with it. Like, it's her, for sure. She's avoiding accountability. I honestly don't know which is the truth, and the uncertainty is another reason I feel stepping back is the best option. Yeah, I would say that the bridesmaid is just doing what the bride said. She's sticking up for her friend. Like I said, group chat's going on, the bride's, you know, to her about,
oh my god, like, I can't believe that she would go it. Like, I specifically told her that we wanted satin dresses, and she went and bought like a different dress, and like it's ruining my wedding, blah blah blah.
The bridesmaid is only acting. She feels like protective of her friend, and like her friend, you know, the bride is probably, you know, upset and has vented to her about it. That's what's going on here. Looking back, I can see how maybe I could have handled things differently. I've never been a bridesmaid before, and I was honestly really excited about it and wanted to get everything sorted early, which is why I went ahead and bought the dress once I thought everything was agreed. How could you have handled things differently? You asked the bride permission and you bought the dress. It was the color that she wanted. You literally could not have done anything differently in that regard. For context as well, me and the other bridesmaids have never had any issues in the past. This bridesmaid is the bride's current best friend, and she had mentioned that the bride wanted her to speak for her, as she's very stressed over the wedding planning. I don't know her particularly well, but I've always been friendly and I've never had a problem with her before. Her messages caught me completely off guard. For now, stepping down feels like the least dramatic option, so there's no stress around the wedding. Oh, we actually have another update. So I posted before about the bridesmaid dress situation, and I thought I'd give an update. A lot of the backstory probably explains why I reacted the way I did, so here it is. I've been friends with the bride since school about 15 years now. We don't speak all the time because we live about 2 hours apart, but once or twice a year we meet up and catch up. When she got engaged 2 years ago, she asked me to be one of her 2 bridesmaids, plus a maid of honor. Things started getting weird a bit early on. Back in October, we had a bridal shower with bridesmaids and close family, which was fine. After that, the bride said she wanted a hen party. The mother of the bride went ahead and booked a hotel without asking any of the 3 bridesmaids first, and then expected us to split the cost of the 2 rooms for the bride, the 3 of us, the mother, and her friend. We all said no and told her she should try and get a refund because none of us had agreed to that. Trying to be helpful, I offered to host the hen party at my house instead. Honestly, I wish I hadn't. I spent months planning it. I bought decorations, organized games, did a lot of food, set everything up at my house, the whole thing.
You're doing too much.
The maid of honor was basically impossible to contact during planning and ignored messages most of the time. The other bridesmaid mostly just turned up with a blow-up doll with the groom's face on it, which somehow ended up being the highlight of the night. Ooh, that's gotta sting. After everyone left, I didn't even get a thank you message. Not from the bridesmaids, not from the maid of honor, not even from the bride. I actually haven't heard from any of them since that night. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like they're
Alright, well, I'm going to log out for the evening. I will see you guys in the morning.
Sort my own dress out. I live 2 hours away from them and don't drive, so organizing a group shopping
Yeah, have a good night.
wasn't really practical anyway. I found a dress I liked and sent it to the bride before putting the deposit down.